Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nerdcast. It is Devin, broadcasting as always live from an undisclosed location in the center of Texas on a pretty chill but tiring Tuesday evening. How's everybody doing out there? Hey Bianca, welcome back to the stream. Am I early? Maybe by about 15 minutes or so, but I think I generally start somewhere around this time every night. The thing is, I was actually prepared to start at 9 p.m. my time right off the bat, but I got lazy. I started slouching, and it got to the point where I was even like, do I want to stream tonight? But then I was like, nope, I got to force myself to. Because, like I said before, it's just a tiring Tuesday. I don't know why I'm so tired. Probably just a combination of not enough sleep and, but you know, it's probably just not enough sleep. I meant I'm early. Oh, okay, you are early a little bit too, but also I feel like it's probably your bedtime in about 5 minutes. Hello, it is me, and guess whose tooth chipped even more and, oh, Jesus. It has a hole in the top. Now it's mine. God, man, welcome back to the stream, Toaster. That sounds awful. I have a chipped tooth too, but it didn't hurt. Like, I remember how I chipped it. I was working at NCSoft at the time. I think I was working on Guild Wars, and no, not Guild Wars. It was Tabula Rasa, and I was doing something that required me to like wait for something to load, and I was just sitting there bored, like just kind of flicking my thumbnail against my tooth, and then I heard a little crack and like saw a piece of my tooth land on the desk, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And it didn't hurt, but yeah, I just chipped a little piece off my tooth, and it's been like that ever since. But yours sounds a lot more painful. I hope it's not painful. How much you make here? What do you mean how much I make here? I don't make much, I'll tell you that much. Like, it would be nice if I made a measurable amount of money from this. I could certainly go for, you know, I thought about it a little bit. Like, would I actually like being a full-time streamer? Because like I do have, obviously I have a 9-to-5, and my 9-to-5 pays pretty well. Like, if I quit that and did this full-time, would I really enjoy it as much as I do just doing it kind of like as a hobbyist sort of thing? Maybe it's possible, but it's not something it's not something that I ever like had a goal to do right off the bat. This was always just like a fun kind of thing. It hurt a lot. Damn, that sucks, man. How'd you chip it? What happened? I was like, ow, then went back to chewing. Oh, you did it while you were eating. Shit, what were you eating? Like Jawbreakers or something? I wouldn't. Yeah, I get that. I probably wouldn't want to either, but I don't know. Maybe it'd be a nice change of pace. It certainly beats, I guess, the environment beats an office job, I suppose. It's a dead tooth that needed a root canal for a few years. Ah, man. If I had like Bezos money or whatever, I swear the first thing I would do is get rid of all of my teeth and just replace them with like metal teeth. But they wouldn't be silver. I would have them paint it like to make them look like teeth. So, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell that they were metal teeth. But I would totally rip out all my teeth and put metal teeth in there, like the implants. Then I would never have to worry about cavity, because I've had root canals. I lost a tooth to a root canal. It's bullshit. I hate that. I don't understand why teeth need nerves. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired. Although I ran out of my Coke Zero, so these past couple of days I haven't been artificially caffeinating myself. I have coffee downstairs, but it's too late to make coffee now. I think I'm just hitting a wall. I'll probably try my hardest to actually fall asleep early tonight. Another thing, so here's one thing that I've been planning. I'll let you guys in on it. For the month of October, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be releasing a micro review, a horror movie micro review on TikTok every day for the month of October. So 31 movies, 31 movie reviews, one a day for October, all the way through Halloween. So, listen, I don't mind making $20 from Twitch. No, I don't either. I think I probably pull in a little bit north of 20, honestly. Not much north, but just a little bit. Halloween games? I'm going to do that too, actually. So, I'm planning on doing a horror game with a friend of mine. She's going to come by. She wants to play... Oh, man, I forget the name of the game. I totally forget the name of the game, but... she's gonna come by and play that with me. She wanted to when she saw my videos I posted on my TikTok, where I'm being a total coward playing mortuary assistant. So she wants to endeavor to push me through another horror game. So I'm gonna play that. I want to actually go back to mortuary assistant and try to force myself through that game, or at least through some of that game, through more of that game than I got through it last time. So I do have a couple of Halloween horror games planned for the month of October as well. But the big lift on my part are those movie reviews, because I mean, a review a day is a lot, and I'm trying to put excuse me, I'm trying to put some production behind it too. I'm gonna be going over to my buddy Justin's place. He has a really nice camera and a green screen, so I'm gonna throw the green screen up behind me. Gonna be really well lit, shot in a nice camera. I'm writing the scripts for him right now, 31 scripts. I mean, they're just basically a couple short paragraphs, but actually they're about a one paragraph each. So it's still a lot, but it should be manageable. At some point by the end of this week, my intention is to head over to his place and just shoot all 31 in one solid take, and then start editing and start cutting them up and editing them and releasing them day by day in October. So it's a pretty big project. In addition to the fact, so another cool thing that just dropped earlier, Twitch has rolled out a really cool integration with TikTok. So they make it super easy for if you or myself made a clip from the stream, they have this really cool clip feature where you can actually auto format it to portrait view, and you could reposition the camera for like where my camera is that shows me. There's a little square you could drag over it and it repositions it within that portrait view, and then you could just automatically upload it to TikTok. So I spend a lot of time editing some of my VODs to fit the TikTok format, and add a little bit of editing pepper here and there. But the ability to just do that through the clips menu in Twitch is awesome. It's gonna save a lot of time, and I'm gonna want to do that a lot. So I'm gonna start encouraging you guys also to start clipping things too. Help me out, clip some things if you think it's clip worthy. Of course, what you think is clip worthy and what I think clip worthy are totally different things, but I'll defer to you because you are the viewer. Hey, that's Lyft money, let's go. I guess it is. I mean, depending on where you're at. You know, if $20 is Lyft money, then you're probably not in like New York or LA or something like that. Where I'm at, like, I'm so far out from like Austin that if I wanted to take a Lyft to the city, it would probably cost me around $40. So it's not quite Lyft money for me, but you know, I'm getting there. I'm getting there slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. I have 132 followers now. I need to start I have to do better at like really social networking and all that crap, but you know, that's just, again, it was never my intention to become a professional content creator and a full-time Twitch streamer. If you want to become one of those things, then yeah, you need to do all that. It's never been a strong suit of mine. I just want to have fun on my stream looking at silly videos or talking about the news or playing games. And whoever wants to have fun with me can come along for the ride. But speaking of news, let's get down to business. So I don't know anything about what's going on here. I just recently heard about it not too long ago. So there was a leak from the FTC that just kind of leaked all of Microsoft's upcoming plans and other items. Yo, Genetic Memory Farms, welcome back to the stream. The only problem with metal teeth is that you still have corrosion. I know the materials that won't allow things to grow microbes, but metal will be interacting with acids, etc. That's true. Also, you're on a huge delay if you're just now getting to my metal teeth discussion. But that's YouTube for you, man. You're on a pretty massive delay. You might either want to refresh, or better yet, as I've mentioned before, head on over to Twitch. Just create a Twitch account or whatever and come watch me on the Twitch stream. Get rid of that pesky delay. So, all the major revelations from the FTC versus Xbox court documents leak. Hardware acquisitions and unannounced game remasters. So, this is a spicy enchilada, so let's get right into it. This week, several unredacted, highly confidential documents from Microsoft began appearing online. These documents were part of Microsoft's legal case against the U.S. regulator, the Federal Trade Commission. The case was argued back in June, with the verdict reached in July, ruling in favor of Microsoft. So this is them wanting to acquire Activision Blizzard, I believe. Let me make sure I'm right on that. No, that's not what I wanted. Wait, what was that? Oh, this is, I guess I could watch that too, but I'm gonna look over the article. I just want to know what, wait, what's the difference between this article and this one? 12 surprising reveals and all the major revelations. Okay, well, I wanted to see what this was then, I guess. Yeah, this was in reference to the acquisition of Activision, which is kind of silly. It's kind of crazy. Some of the I did see some of the things that have come out about this, and the idea that like a judge would be made privy to some of their plans and be like, okay, there's no antitrust issues going on here, I approve, is pretty silly. The documents in question have revealed several highly sensitive information regarding Microsoft's gaming arm, Xbox, where its hardware roadmap is in the coming years, and other game developers it has an eye on acquiring, I guess. To dive deeper, check out our breakdown below. Okay. The Elder Scrolls 6 is an Xbox console exclusive. So, and we've also, we've seen Microsoft with the Bethesda products leaning a little more heavily on making them Xbox exclusives. Starfield is an Xbox exclusive as well. This doesn't, in my view, this doesn't help them beat the antitrust allegations. So, and as big as a franchise as Elder Scrolls is, it makes it seem like it's counterintuitive to try to convince a court that you're going to, still allow, you're not going to lean too heavily on the scales of competition through your monopolization of, the developer section of the industry. When a lot of your biggest products that you're putting out, you're making them exclusive to, your own console. The Elder Scrolls 6, the next major installment in Bethesda's fantasy RPG series, entered the early stages of development late last month. But outside of that and a teaser trailer revealed back at E3 2018, I don't understand. They had a teaser trailer in 2018, but it entered quote-unquote early stages of development last month? What the hell was that teaser then? News on the highly anticipated action RPG has been seldom. While Xbox boss Phil Spencer said a PlayStation version of Elder Scrolls 6 was still up in the air during the trial, this new document recently spotted by Axios reporter Stephen Totilo, Stephen Totilo reveals that the Elder Scrolls 6 is not only skipping PlayStation platforms, but could release as early as 2026. It should not be entirely surprising, however, that the Elder Scrolls 6 will remain a console exclusive on the Xbox Series X/S. With Microsoft acquiring Bethesda's parent company ZeniMax Media a few years ago, console exclusivity for future ZeniMax titles, both new and existing, felt like a given. So, yeah, 2026. It's, I guess, you know, what? It's about 8-9 years of development for that. If it started in 2018, I don't know how I feel about the exclusivity. Like, I guess coming from like the old school era of gaming, like I kind of like in the era of the Genesis and SNES, like so many of the coveted titles for a console were exclusive. You know, if you wanted to play Zelda, you had to get a Nintendo, or Mario Kart or whatever. Metroid, you had to get a Nintendo. Or if you wanted to play Sonic, you know, you had to get a Genesis. Shining Force, you had to get a Genesis. So I was just kind of used to, growing up, I was used to that console environment of exclusivity. And once exclusivity kind of became a thing in the past, I just stopped caring too much about the console stuff. Because, I mean, right now, most major games are released on everything. And now that I have myself a decent PC, and I'm sitting in front of the PC more often than not, I'd rather just play it on PC. So it's kind of an interesting situation. Like, I wonder if, like, there's a part of me that's, and it's probably the majority part, that opposes the monopolization of you know, the developer, the blockbuster AAA developer market. And I see console exclusivity as a way to kind of strong arm the competition. But on the other hand, like, there's that other part of me that's like kind of nostalgic for the old console wars exclusivity battle. Like, okay, Xbox is gonna have Elder Scrolls 6. What is the PlayStation 5 gonna have then? Like, are they gonna have a title that can compete against it? And I guess that also spawns competition. You know, I can see, I can go both ways on that. So it's an interesting revelation. Yo, Arachnid Soul, welcome back to the stream. I'd make Elder Scrolls 6 for Xbox and PC only. I mean, if I was controlling Microsoft. Why put that on PlayStation? It makes no sense to me. I'd make all the Bethesda RPGs Xbox and PC only. I think that's what they're gonna do. Same with Call of Duty. They had to give the judge, they had to give the court some assurances that they wouldn't do that with Call of Duty in order to be approved for the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. So I don't think you'll see that with Call of Duty. Not immediately, at least. Maybe there's some time frame in which they can, some time frame where they'll have to allow cross-platform availability. But immediately, though, they had to give those assurances to the court. What happened to my music? All of a sudden, you don't want to play anymore? When I grew up, games were exclusives. Yeah, exactly. If I want to watch a game, if I want to watch Game of Thrones, I can't do it on Showtime. That's all. Yeah, I mean that's, but it's like, it's not so much about doing it on. It's not quite so much about doing it on Showtime. It's really more like, if you want to go see the Batman in movie theaters, you could go to any variety. Oh, Bianca hitting me with the stretch and the hydrate. All right, let me get on that. If you want to go see the Batman in a movie theater, you could see them at any variety of movie theaters, you know, AMC, Regal, whatever local theater there may be in your area, as opposed to you can only watch the Batman at Cinemark theaters. And because Warner Brothers has so much money and so much sway, they can outmuscle all the other competing movie theaters in the area and, you know, put a bunch of other small theaters and local theaters out of business because everybody's going to that one Cinemark or whatever to watch the Batman. So that's kind of what I equate. That's kind of what more I would equate it to than the Cinemark approach. Although, you know, streaming has changed that environment too. Just part of, you know, the whole hubbub about these strikes. I'll head out. Night, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, Bianca. I appreciate it. I told you it was your bedtime in about 5 minutes or so. And hydrate. I left my big cup downstairs, so I'm drinking water out of my Crown Royale little whiskey glass here, like a classy gentleman. But it just means I'm going to have to refill this thing a million times because I'm too lazy to go downstairs. Yo, Haunted Taco, what's up? Welcome back to the stream. I hate exclusives. I know why they exist, but I hate that they do exist. Yeah, I'm of two worlds. I hate them and I'm intrigued by them because I do want to see. I would like to see Sony have a response of their own. Like, we know Nintendo's response. Nobody seems to have an issue with all of Nintendo's exclusives, you know. You're not ever going to see a Zelda game on the Xbox or a Mario game on the PlayStation. It's just a given that whatever Nintendo puts out is only going to be available on their platform. But by that same token, Nintendo is also not buying up whole quadrants of the industry. Like, they're just building up their studios internally and then just developing their own IP internally, which is a different thing. It's a different thing than, you know, just going out and buying up all your competition and then just owning the market. But if one type of theater was making the Batman movie, you would expect them to maybe want it exclusive. Well, I mean, that's a part of the reason why the what was it called? I talked about this with Justin on the stream years ago. It's like the Paramount Accords or something like that. It was a legal ruling from the Supreme Court that basically barred production companies from owning movie theaters. Those have since expired, so now if AMC or if Warner Brothers or Netflix or whatever other production company wants to own their own movie theater chains, they're free to, because those expired. But for generations really, there were laws in place that prevented that from happening, so that this very scenario of a film company putting out a movie and then only wanting to show it in their exclusive theaters would not happen. I don't know what was that? What was it called? Let me see if I can. Oops, I think this is it. United States versus Paramount Pictures, the Paramount decision, or the Paramount Decree is what I've heard of it called, was a landmark United States Supreme Court antitrust case that decided the fate of film studios owning their own theaters and holding exclusivity rights on which theaters would show their movies. It would also change the way Hollywood movies were produced, distributed, and exhibited. It also opened the door for more foreign and independent films to be shown in the U.S. The Supreme Court affirmed in the United States District Court, Southern District of New York's ruling that the existing distribution scheme was in violation of United States antitrust law, which prohibits certain exclusive dealing arrangements. The decision created the Paramount Decree. That's what I was referring to. The decision created the Paramount Decree, a standard by the United States Department of Justice that prevented film production companies from owning exhibition companies. The case is important in both American antitrust law and film history. In the former, it remains a landmark decision in vertical integration cases, which, has become the norm across, a lot of industries. Mostly tech, but it's spilling out from tech as well. In the latter, it is responsible for putting an end to the old Hollywood studio system. As a part of the 2019 review of its ongoing decrees, the Department of Justice issued a 2-year sunsetting notice for the Paramount Decree in August 2020, believing the antitrust restriction was no longer necessary as the old model could never be recreated in contemporary settings, which is bullshit. Which is pure bullshit. It's totally the Supreme Court just giving corporations everything they want, as the Supreme Court has done for years and years now. It's the same kind of mentality. Like, the Supreme Court also said that racism didn't exist anymore. So southern states no longer had to adhere to, like, the civil rights, certain portions of the Voting Rights Act. Like, hey, well, you guys had a black president. What are you talking about? Clearly racism is over, so no more Voting Rights Act. It's the same kind of rationale being made there. But yeah, this is basically what I was referring to. But it's interesting that these antitrust provisions existed for the movie industry, because the movie industry has been around as a huge, economic driver since, the 20s, basically. But there are no such provisions for the game industry, because the game industry is still relatively young. Talking about in its infancy in the late 70s, early 80s. And by that time, our court system was completely and totally bought and paid for by large industries and big money donors. So you're never going to see rulings like this to protect the game industry, which is why Microsoft. I mean, we'll get further down along in this. We'll get further down along in this news article as to how Microsoft is approaching that angle. And I have a PC, PlayStation, a Switch, so I could basically play anything. But still, I agree with you on that. I'm on board with that. I don't have a PS5, or I have every console outside of a PS5. I just play mostly on the PC, anyways. As if capitalism at its heart isn't unethical. Wait, what? It just feels like really unethical capitalism. As if capitalism at its heart isn't unethical. Yeah, exactly. And I'm doing all right, can't complain. Woke up from an interdimensional logic-destroying nap a while ago. I mean, those are all naps to me, which is why I don't take naps. There's nothing I hate more than the feeling of disorientation that I get when I wake up from a nap. They're right, racism is gone. Maniacal Toaster, you should try a chorus calamus root for tooth pain. Yo, what's up, Haunted Wisp? Welcome back to the stream. All of the hate, all of the words. Since the dawn of humanity, we finally put all that stuff behind us. I have a PC and a Steam Deck, so I can basically play everything. If I wanted to, and I don't, I could play the Switch games on a Steam Deck. I keep hearing so much about the Steam Deck, too. Like, it sounds intriguing, but I don't think it's anything I'd be interested in. Like, what's the purpose of a Steam Deck? So you can basically have like a little handheld laptop you can play games on? I don't even like playing games on my Switch mobile. It just isn't outwardly appealing to me. I also have a Steam Deck. I also just woke up from a disorienting nap. This is the evening of maybe I'm not the only one. Like I know I'm tired as hell, but everybody else seems to be pretty tired too and having disorienting naps. Maybe there's just something going on today. Let's see, moving down the list, Activision was briefed on Switch successor late last year. When did the Switch even come out? I can't even remember. I don't know how old that console even is. In recent weeks, multiple reports have surfaced that Nintendo is working on a successor to the Switch, and thanks to emails published yesterday, the discussion continues to get more fuel. The emails reveal that Nintendo briefed Activision on a next-generation console in December 2022. While heavily redacted, one email revealed preparations for a meeting between Nintendo president Shuntaro Furukawa and several Activision executives, including CEO Bobby Kotick. Why is he still there? Like, I thought he was gonna, like, phase out from leadership after, like, sexually assaulting people and threatening to murder them. A note from Kotick also read aloud during the trial was visible in one of those emails, noting that the next generation Nintendo console offers performance more aligned with the PS4 and Xbox One. That's funny. The Nintendo consoles are always just one generation behind performance-wise. I mean, I don't know if it makes a difference at this point. Like, I know that PS5 games look pretty good, but do they look so much better than, like, a PS4 game that it changes how the game feels? Maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't played a PS5 game. But at this point, like, those performance differences are negligible, especially for, like, the style of games that Nintendo themselves put out. Like, I love Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom nearly as much as Breath of the Wild, but, you know, for what they were fun as hell games. They looked visually beautiful, even if they weren't, like, the most photorealistic graphics. So I don't really know how much I care about Nintendo's console performance-wise, just so long as they keep cranking out the hits. It's a little handheld PC. They're interesting machines. I feel like handhelds might be more impactful in the future. They're certainly in their infancy right now. Until you get a Steam Deck, it's hard to see the appeal of it, really. Kotick's still there because the mobile Diablo game... I can't see the rest of that. Man, Arachnid Soul, you should come back over on Twitch, dude. Like, rating on the YouTube thing is fucked because this stupid little heart icon blocks a lot of the text I'm trying to read in the chat. Xbox mid-generation refresh, leak docs. Microsoft is planning to release an updated Xbox Series X and S model next year. I don't even know if I care all that much about that either. Although somebody will. Despite Phil Spencer saying multiple times that there is no need for a mid-generation refresh of its Xbox Series game consoles, leaked court documents show that Microsoft is planning to launch hardware refreshes for both the Xbox Series X and S next year. Codename Brooklyn is more compact than the original model, and like the Series S, it lacks a disk drive. The document also reveals that the console will feature 2 terabytes of storage and 16 gigs of RAM. Will come in a 100% recyclable package. What? Okay. The updated Series S, codenamed Elwood, will include 10 gigs of RAM. Pricing will remain the same as its predecessor recorded at Xbox. Okay, the document, okay, not too much going on there. Fallout 3 and Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion are getting remastered. All right, here we go. Here's some juice. Although with Elder Scrolls Oblivion, I kind of wish they would remake the mainline quest there into something a little bit more compelling. One of the many documents leaked online this week include a 3-year-old document of Bethesda's release schedule prior to Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax Media in 2021. The document included some unannounced games, most notably remasters for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion and Fallout 3. Other information revealed in this document includes the fact that Starfield was forecasted to generate $900 million in revenue, though again, this information is likely dated due to the document being published before Microsoft closed its acquisition of Bethesda's parent company. I mean, given how well the game has been doing so far, I don't see the $900 million in revenue being too far off from the mark. It's the all digital edition. Yeah, with no disc. I remember they were initially trying to release the Xbox One X like that, and then people had a negative reaction to it, and they kind of went back on it. But you know, that all digital is the future. My wife and I both have a Steam Deck. I bought her one for her birthday as a bit of an experiment, and she loved it. Man, I need to become your second wife so you can buy me a Steam Deck then, since you're just tossing them out like fucking candy over there. No one is really covering it, but Steam is about to launch a new console of their own. What? That will most likely be a wireless VR console and PC game player. Wait, what do you mean? Steam's about to launch a new console. Isn't the Steam Deck their console? The VR will stream to glasses. Yeah, the Steam console seems interesting. I was unaware that they had a whole other new thing that they were trying to put out. No, Steam Deck is their handheld. Well, I mean, to me, they're all interchangeable at this point, but sure, okay. So they're going to have the Steam Deck as their handheld, and they're going to have an actual console that you tether to a television or something. They're making a plug into the TV and use a controller. I wonder why. Why? I mean, I guess maybe they're just running out of shit to do. They have basically a monopoly on digital distribution of games via Steam. That, you know, they have very little in the way of any kind of competition or resistance. They don't really have to even moderate what they put out there. Man, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the other night I was looking through Steam because I wanted to change up the kind of games I'm playing. And I was like, maybe Chad will like if I play like a dating sim or something. I was gonna look for some wacky dating sims. And I click on the dating sim tab, and like the first thing I see is literally straight up full penetration. Just like full erect dick, penetrating vaginas, just like pumping away. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And every quote unquote dating sim that I scrolled down was some iteration of like hardcore porn. And I tried to find something a little bit more innocent and streamable than that, but after a while I was just like, man, I feel like Steam is about to give me a computer virus of some sort if I keep going down this track. Like, the level of which they do not give a fuck what they put out on Steam is pretty remarkable, honestly. Like, it's almost commendable. It's like, damn, you guys really don't give a fuck what you put on this thing. But I'm sure they may have, well, it'd be interesting if they have more stringent rules around the console then. Basically now it's essentially different categorizations for computers. Even consoles are just computers now. Yeah, that's kind of my thing, is like they're all just kind of the same. They're all just slightly different variations of the same kind of, you know, ready-built PC. The big thing with that Steam console will be the amazing jump up in VR tech. Plus they will see it at a loss to be hundreds less than other VR. Is VR that big? I still don't know if VR is big enough. I mean, if anybody knows, it's Valve. They would certainly be the ones to know just how expansive the VR market is. But I just don't ever really hear or see anything much about VR gaming. 10 Dates is a great dating game. That's the one to play. All right, I'll make a note of that. 10 Dates. I will bring up my Steam over here just in case it accidentally wants to show me more full penetration. And then I'll just search over here and make sure I wishlist it. Oh, is this an FMV game? What the fuck? Is this like an old school FMV game? Because if it is, then I am already on board. Yeah, there's a lot of porn on Steam. Yeah, you're telling me. No sex, just a great FMV game with fun dates and great writing. Oh, I'm on board. It's been a long time since I played an FMV game. And that wasn't even a problem until a few years ago. I wonder what changed. No, the console will also be open the same way as Steam is. If Steam runs it, the console will. I'll just be scrolling through the store page like la-di-da, la-di-da-da, and there's just the most obscene pornographic video game right next to something like Plushie Simulator. Yeah, that's what exactly, and that's what took me for a loop. Like, it wasn't even like it was there wasn't even any innuendo. It wasn't even like, you know, sexy schoolgirl 12 simulator or whatever or anything like that. It was just straight up fucking pounding. 10 Dates has a free demo as well. I am downloading the free demo as we speak. As soon as I saw that it was an FMV game, I was like, oh, I'm on board. There was another FMV game that I wanted to play. Shit, what was it? It was something, I don't know if it was, I think it was something like Inferno, but I don't know if it was ever called Inferno. Do these guys just make FMV games? What is going on here? Wales Interactive. I'll have to look into this a little later. Oh my god. See, okay, this looks... I could show this because it's pretty... But look at this. So you have Stray Gods, which I think that's an Image graphic novel that just recently came out. They recently created a game based off of that. It seems like it's doing okay, but honestly, the graphic novel annoyed me, so I don't think I'm gonna ever try that one. But then look, you just scroll over, Fresh Women. I'm not gonna highlight it because it's gonna show some crazy shit. Fresh Women, helping the hotties, Fetish Locator 3, being a dick. Henry Stickmin Collection. I don't even know what the Henry Stickmin Collection might refer to. MILFs. I'm reading the thumbnail rather than the subtitle. MILFs of Sunville, Season 2. The Lust City. College Kings 2. It even has like White Album. What the fuck is White Album? It even has like your generic ass porn naming. Anyways, that was a wild deviation. The porn games are just shovelware. Steam Greenlight went. Oh yeah, that's right. They did have Greenlight. Went away, so anyone can put whatever on Steam. Shit, I should just shoot out a shitty Steam game then. It just has the cheap names from the 80s. Yeah, exactly. Like low effort porn names. Like, I should just come up with a whole list of like really low effort porn names and then cobble together some pretty shitty FMV games or point and click games. It'll be a point, since those are the easiest ones, you can just make like hot zones on a screen that you click on with your mouse. I'll just make a really low effort series of shitty point and click porn games with like super lame names. Yeah, here is the one that I was alluding to with respects to like antitrust issues. Phil Spencer really wants Microsoft to buy Nintendo. During the trial, it was revealed that Microsoft had its eyes on 100 developers Microsoft considered acquiring at one point before narrowing it down to 8 studios, including Sega, Square Enix, and Zynga. However, there's another studio Xbox was eyeing, Nintendo. An email from August 2020 revealed that Spencer was enthusiastic about acquiring the studio behind the beloved video game franchises such as Mario and Legend of Zelda. Spencer noted in the email that the acquisition would be a career moment if it had happened. Man, fuck your career moment. The email also revealed that Spencer was interested in acquiring Valve and Warner Brothers. I don't know why they would want to acquire Warner Brothers. Oh, Warner Brothers Interactive. Well, I guess that's a subset of Warner Brothers. The latter, which would mean that Xbox would own developers such as NetherRealm and Rocksteady. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I thought they meant the broader Warner Brothers. But, yeah, it should, like... all of this shit... I can't say what I think should happen to fucking people who are in a position to do shit like this if they ever go down the path of these kinds of acquisitions, because it would be against TOS. But I'll say something particular should happen to these types of people. Like, the whole purpose, like, and I'm sure Phil Spencer would be the first to call himself like a capitalist, and this is just, you know, market competition and blah blah blah. But this is anti-competitive. Like, the whole purpose of market competition is, oh, these guys are making you work for your share of the market. Okay, well, be better than them, beat them, put out a better product, and all of that. But that's no longer the modus operandi, because all of these companies basically operate like as de facto financial institutions now. So the way that they grow and increase their market share and increase their stock value is not through putting out better products and actually competing in the market and winning consumers over. It's just acquiring all of your competition. It's like, oh, I want to get into the hamburger business. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to open a hamburger shop, and then I'm just going to buy all the Burger Kings. And that's my hamburger business, is buying all the Burger Kings. Then once I buy all the Burger Kings, I'm going to buy all the Wendy's. Then I'll buy all the fucking Jack in the Boxes. And my burger company is going to be doing really well once I have all of those burger locations. Look at how many locations my burger shop expanded so rapidly. I started off with 1, and then I immediately jumped up to like 2,000. You know, we're doing gangbusters business. People are really enthusiastic about our burgers. It's bullshit. It should be like... I will say that, to his credit, the Biden administration has been more antitrust than previous presidential administrations, but nowhere near enough, because we're reaching a point now where like the antitrust across all industries is... I mean, there's a reason why everybody's going on strike. It creates a massive imbalance of wealth and a massive imbalance of power that comes with it. Massive inequity in our society that just causes so much struggle and chaos. And, you know, when such a small few amount of businesses within an industry own so much of that industry, it's hard to dispense, because the wealth will calcify itself in those top echelons. So the only avenue that people have to try to claw back any of that money is striking. You know, if we're talking about doing it in a non-violent means, we'll see how effective that is here in the coming weeks. WGA's been on strike for a hot minute now. It's been a while. And it looks like, you know, maybe I think I read something that they're about to go to the negotiating no, that's the UAW, the auto workers. The auto workers are succeeding tentatively in strong-arming the auto manufacturers to come back to the negotiating table. I heard that earlier today, but I think WGA, like, I don't feel like they're any closer to a resolution than they were when they first went on strike. It's good that, you know, so many in the labor market are, you know, their unionization efforts are occurring at a higher pace than they had been prior to 2020, basically. And that's probably the best avenue with which to fight all of this back immediately. But I'm skeptical if it's going to be enough. Because not enough of our industries are unionized. And in some instances, I don't know how you get there. The game industry was unionizing for a hot second, but I hadn't heard really anything about it since. Like we've had a few companies here and there, a few QA departments here and there that unionize, but what we really need is we need software development in general to unionize, not just game developers, but software developers across the entirety of tech. They all need to unionize too, but that's a different discussion. If Microsoft ends up with Activision, like, I am certain that they're going to try to do this. And I know that there are also rumors of like Apple buying Nintendo or something like that, but neither of those things should happen. Like, neither of those things should be allowed to happen. I don't know if it's a dating sim, but there was a visual novel game that I found interesting called Coffee Talk. I'll check that out too. Coffee Talk. Sounds innocent. We need more worker co-op businesses as well, a concept most people in the US are never told about. I agree. I mean, the more worker-owned co-ops we have, I think the better too. And yeah, that is like an education issue. Like, it's just something that people don't know as a possibility. But I always thought the game industry would be an excellent vehicle for that too, because you have these situations, and I talked about it on the stream last time, I think the last stream I did, or maybe it was the one before that, but I talked about how, you know, Gearbox is looking for a buyer, and Volition, I think it was, got shut down, both of them by Embracer Group. And, you know, talked about the developers of Lord of the Rings Gollum, who, you know, a lot of people got put out of work after that game flopped. Like, you get that, you get that a lot in the game industry, where either a game flops or not. Just the game was released. And after the game is released, whether it sells well or not, some subset of workers are let go. And then they go and they try to find some other company to latch onto. And, you know, they get hired at some other company working on some other game, and the process begins again. They bust their ass, they crunch, game gets released, and then they lose their job again. And I always felt like that's an excellent environment for which people who end up losing their jobs after going through that cycle for a while should probably just band together. And I mean, and a lot of them do form their own game studios. Like, a lot of game studios exist as a result of people who got laid off or their studios shut down after game releases or whatever. But those studios should be started up as worker-owned co-ops, and we should have more of them. And like, there should be more communication and more business-to-business interaction between worker-owned co-op-owned studios. I did an interview on this channel. I did an interview on my stream. Who knows how long ago? Maybe 2 years ago at this point. With oh man, I forget his name. He's one of the founders of Pixel Pushers 512, which is a worker-owned co-op game development studio here in Austin. They put out a game called Tonight We Riot. Let me see if I can find that. I've talked a bit about worker-owned co-ops on my channel. Yeah, that one, our worker-owned co-ops, the future, a case for game industry revolution. It was 2 years ago. Ted Anderson, that's who it is, yes. Talking with Ted Anderson of Pixel Pushers Union 512 about being a worker co-op in gaming. It was about a year ago, I guess. So if you want to check that out, you can definitely check that out and get some insight on Ted's experience working as a worker-owned co-op in the game industry. But I've always been an advocate of the game industry going the co-op route. I mean, I think more things need to go the co-op route, but I think it'd probably be the easiest in the game industry. Because you don't really need a lot of crazy bespoke like hardware, and you don't really need like supply chain stuff. Like doing a worker-owned co-op grocery, and there are some in Austin. One I used to go to when I lived closer to it. But you need a lot to become a grocer. You need a lot to do that as a worker-owned co-op, and all these other types of co-op opportunities, whether it's like a coffee shop or whatever. There is a lot more you need in order to get it off the ground, rather than a studio where you just need, working PCs basically, and damn near everybody has their own PC that they can work off of. Certainly everybody who's ever worked at a video game studio already has their own PC that they could do some work on. So right off the bat, you already have like a lot of what you need in order to get your studio up and running. You just need to, create your bylaws and how you're going to vote on stuff and actually do the thing. And the problem with, and the thing about like getting people on board with the co-op aspect, if you do need to have like specialized hardware or supply chain access and shit like that, is for capitalism, it is the capitalist that basically is on the hook for that. Like, oh, we need like 10 forklifts. It's like, okay, well, you're the guy that's funding this operation, so buy us 10 forklifts. When it's a co-op, it's a little bit different. The funding mechanisms for co-ops is more difficult. It's harder for a co-op to get funded than it is for a studio that is more conventionally structured. And that's something that I had an idea for creating a funding mechanism for co-ops years ago. That kind of worked off of like a sort of Act Blue sort of thing, but I never really fully pursued it. But it would be interesting if there was more crowd-funded community mechanisms for being able to provide funding to worker-owned co-ops in a non-capitalistic manner. Because that's a hard part, the funding of it. And then once you do get the funding, you have to determine, like, the ownership of all of that belongs collectively to the company, for which every person who is an owner of the company then has an ownership piece of that equipment as well. So it's just a little bit stickier of an environment with respects to that sort of stuff. But I mean, I still think that's the way to go. It's not insurmountable, and it's not like a deal breaker for, most people. I think I don't think it would be for most people if they actually, studied what it actually meant and how it worked. But, there is footwork there. You do have to learn about it before you just go jumping into it. But yeah, like, education is a tough part. Most people don't even know co-ops exist. Some insight on Ted Kaczynski's experience? What? What do you mean, insight on Ted Kaczynski's experience? Yeah, I'll watch that working co-op video. There's a worker co-op grocery store here in Vegas. Use them whenever you can. I try to go to the one here whenever I can. It's good stuff. Although I will say, their steaks are awful. Like, it's the one, like, a lot of their other stuff is great. It's just fine. They have an area where they make sandwiches. Their sandwiches are awesome. They have a hot food section that's really good. They have really good cuts of meat generally. They have a really good cuts of meat generally in their butcher, but their steaks, whenever I had their steaks and cooked them myself, like, they were tough as shit. Not good cuts of meat. You said that phrase without Kaczynski. Oh, Ted Anderson, that's why. That's not the first Ted Kaczynski joke that you've dropped in this chat. It's making me really suspicious of you. It's making me real suspicious of you and your Ted Kaczynski fascination. Phil Spencer's honest opinion of the PS5 reveal. After Sony revealed the technical specifications of the PS5 in March 2020, Spencer wrote an email to Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella and CFO Amy Hood. After half a day of absorbing the information Sony disclosed for its console, Spencer was enthusiastic about what the Xbox Series X and S were capable of, writing that Microsoft has a, quote, better product than Sony has, not just on hardware, but equally important on the software platform service of blah. While the first few years of Xbox 9th generation console paints a different picture, this email was sent out in 2020 before the current gen of hardware was released. Not to mention, during the trial, Microsoft admitted in a separate document that its gaming arm has lost the console wars. Oh, I remember that. From a 3P options perspective, we have done an assessment of options beyond current plan for Q2. There are a few impactful details. Oh, geez, this is like all sorts of corpo speak. I don't want to read all this corpo speak. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't want to read all this. Suffice it to say, leaked emails from Microsoft FTC trial reveal Xbox scramble to fill 2022 lineup hole. Everyone's trying to fill that lineup hole. The grocery store we primarily shop is a co-op, but we live in the middle of nowhere mountains. And that's usually where you're going to find a lot of those places. It's funny, there was a news article in the New York Times like a couple years back. I feel like it was shortly after 2016, but it may have been after I can't remember. But it was basically about how like some super conservative right-wing district in Florida didn't have a grocery store. It was like a food desert. So, like, the community members in that town came together to, Suki! Oh, I got you! Suki! Oh, but I didn't get a good grip on you, though, Suki. I didn't get a good grip on you. You weaseled your way. Oh, I got you! Oh, I got you, Suki! Now you get some FaceTime. Yeah. It's been a while, Suki. Oh, it's been a while. You gotta say hi to the camera. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Nocti came in just in time to see you. Oh, look at you. You're flopping to the side. Why are you flopping to the side? There you go. There you go. Say hi to everyone. All right, there you go. Everyone, look, everyone is so happy to see you. Everyone is so happy to see you. And now you got your claws out, ripping into my shirt. You just got to pay a little rent. Everyone is so happy to see you. Okay. There you go. You paid your rent. You paid your rent. My daughter, Siki baby, she was very displeased that I caught her and held her back up to the camera. But she's okay now. She ran out with her sister. How you doing, Nocti? How's your night going? Cat, yes. Cat 1. We'll see if I can get Cat 2 in here later. My panther with a resting bitch face. She does have a resting bitch face. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I like how okay, I'll get you. Wait. You don't have to run. Hold on a second. Ugh. They're looking at their food dishes like, what the fuck, man? That's not yours. Here, I'll put you here. Here's yours. That's not yours, dolls. Here. There you go. All right. Hell, oh no. Kid's sick as fuck, and I had to scrub bodily fluids mixed with medicine out of the carpet 3 times today. Ew. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. I hope that, well, it sounds like they're pretty sick if you're scrubbing bodily fluids and medicine out of the carpet. But I hope it isn't anything that's super serious. Kids, once they start going to school, they start getting all kinds of weird sicknesses. I hope you stay healthy. And a more than pissed off sick 1-year-old demon. Oof. My condolences. You're going through it over there. You're going through it over there, but you know, at least you got to see Suki a little bit. She gave you a little bit of the Sukai. I don't know if that'll help cheer you up a little bit, but it cheered me up, so that's really what's important here. What are you doing? There's a little plastic mat that I have on their feeder, so that when they take food out of the bowl, it just drops onto the plastic mat and not onto the floor. But Galbi hates the shit out of it, so she's always like picking it up with her claw and flinging it out of the way. It's kind of annoying, but she's just chowing down now. I got them some new food, and she loves the shit out of it. It did good. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear it. The cats paid their rent then, or at least Suki did. Maybe when Galbi's done eating, she'll pay her rent. Red Dead Redemption 2 might get an next-gen update. I did not like that game, so I don't care. FTC blames Microsoft for the leaks. Why would Microsoft leak this shit? I guess unless they were just careless with it.
Available to the public. The Microsoft versus FTC trial is a wrap, and while we don't have a ruling yet, we learned a lot of inside industry information that's not usually available to the public. From drama surrounding the exclusivity of Starfield and other Bethesda titles to the cost of producing AAA games like The Last of Us Part 2, there were plenty of bombshell reveals from this week's court battle. Here are 12 big things we learned from the Xbox versus FTC hearing. The entire Xbox Activision Blizzard saga has been filled with both Microsoft and Sony downplaying their respective achievements to appear as meek as possible to regulators. The FTC hearing was no exception as the week kicked off with the news of Microsoft claiming that Xbox has a...
It's like, it always just makes me think of like the old comedy gag of like, you know, the disheveled father in the beat up old suit, like holding a crumpled fedora in his hand, like, we don't have much money around here. By golly, it would be real nice if you would just give us a hand. And he's like swirling his foot like in a meek little circle. It's just like, you're one of the largest corporations in the world. Everybody knows what your value is. Like, why are you trying to lie to the FTC about, well, actually, we're just a small bean game publisher?
Officially lost the console wars. Microsoft claimed its original Xbox was crushed by Sony and Nintendo when it entered the market in 2001, and the company said it's been losing the console wars ever since. Citing numbers from 2021, Microsoft said Xbox held a 16% share of the console video game market.
If they've been getting crushed since basically 2000, I think the Xbox One came out in 2000, or the first Xbox came out in 2000, or maybe 2001. If they've been consistently getting crushed for 23 years, do you really think Microsoft would still invest any money in putting these consoles to market? Like, I don't think they would. I don't think they would, especially since they already own basically the PC ecosystem that games all are developed on. Like, they're all Windows-based games, so they don't really need to develop an Xbox. They don't really need it. Like, the idea that they would just be getting, you know, shoveled L after L after L for 23 years and not ever deviate from the path doesn't make sense to me. Money. The console wars means nothing. Microsoft could care less if you buy a console to play their games or just get a PC. Yeah, like, they have enough of the game development ecosystem, because the other thing is, all of these games are developed on Windows machines too. So, and you know, they all use Visual Studios, Microsoft Visual Studios, and Visual Teams, and all this other sort of Microsoft related products within their ecosystem that has nothing to do with video games, but the game industry all relies on it. Like there is so much around Microsoft in the game development space that like the Xbox, I don't know if underperforming is the right word, but the Xbox, I guess, underperforming year after year doesn't make much of a difference. Like they're playing the game they want to play, which is hang around long enough to buy all of our competition. Like acquisition is the name of the game, and they're doing it. They're doing it. So both are in it for the money. Wait, hold on. Did I read the right one? Yeah, both are in it for the money, and Microsoft is winning. Funny to see them even bring up the console wars. Yeah, I mean, it's just again, it's kind of like it's like when when Donald Trump has to like inflate the value of his real estate in order to get approved for a loan, but then when it's come time to like be audited by the IRS, he deflates the value of his property so that he can get away with not paying taxes. It's like nothing's changed with your property. Your definition of what your property is worth changes based on, who you're talking to. If you're trying to get a loan, your value of your property is worth a lot. If you're trying to avoid taxes, your property is worth very little. It's the same concept. I think the only leg up Sony has with Microsoft is the Asian market. It's pretty much exclusively the Asian market. I mean, I guess Sony also has a big foothold in America, but no, Microsoft has no foothold in Asia. But Xbox is breaking into that too. Maybe. I haven't heard much on that front.
Xbox's Phil Spencer also said a piece on the console wars, calling it a, quote, social construct within the community during his testimony.
Hey, Diego. Welcome back to the stream. Oh, it's such a cute little kitty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. She knows she's cute. She knows she's cute, and she still gives me the resting bitch face.
Years of hardware shortages and a slew of cross-generation game releases can make it feel like this console generation just started. But the reality is that we're creeping up on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S's third birthdays. In court documents reviewed by IGN, Microsoft is expecting the next generation, meaning the PlayStation 6 and Xbox Series Y, if you want to call it.
Is there even an appetite for new consoles? Like, I remember when when the N64 came out, like people were fucking juiced for that shit. Like if you were a kid in the mid 90s and you didn't get an N64 for Christmas, you were a fucking loser. And that's me, by the way, and by choice. I remember my because I had just moved back to the US from Japan, and I really wanted a Sega Saturn for Virtual On Cyber Troopers. And I remember telling my dad that, and this was the year the N64 came out. And my dad got me, he went and got an N64 because it was the hot ticket item. Like, and he talked to like the dude at Toys R Us or whatever, and it was like, oh yeah, everybody wants an N64. So he got me that, and then he was like, now Devin, if you open that package and it's an N64 and not a Sega Saturn, are you gonna be disappointed? And I straight up told him, like, I mean, I won't be disappointed, but I really want the Saturn because it had that game that I used to play with my friends in Japan. He was like, okay. So he went and he swapped it out and he got me a Sega Saturn. So I was like the one kid in America that returned an N64 so I can get a Sega Saturn the year the N64 came out. I'm always proud of that because the N64 is a fucking trash console. I don't care who I have to fight for that statement. N64 continues to be a fucking trash ass console. It's got like maybe four games that are worth playing on it, maybe. And I have no desire. I'll go to like some game stores here in Austin, Game Fellas and whatnot, and I'll see all the collections that they have and be like, oh cool. And sometimes I'll feel compelled to I'll feel an itch to buy an old console, a retro console of some sort, like a Genesis. I actually don't have a Genesis right now, which is odd because I usually do, or an NES, or just some old retro console just to play around with it. And I have never felt that compulsion with the N64. Not once. Not once have I ever looked at it and been like, it'd be cool to just have it, just to have it, maybe play some of those old games again. Nope. Terrible console. But I mean, that's just me. Everybody else was juiced for it. And when the Dreamcast came out, that was the console that I was super psyched over. And I got it for as a high school graduation present. And it was awesome. And I loved my Dreamcast. And people, the Dreamcast was eventually blown out of the water by the PlayStation 2. People were hyped about the PlayStation 2, and the Xbox came out, and there were some people that were hyped about that. In America more than anywhere else, just because of Halo. People were super stoked on Halo and Halo 2. And PS3 and Xbox 360 to a degree, but I noticed that the hypes and the juice for the console wars and console supremacy started to taper off somewhere around there. It started to lose a little bit of its sheen around the PS3, Xbox 360 era. Like, people were excited about the Nintendo Wii because it gave you like a different way to play games. But after that, like, once the novelty of that faded, it just seems like the excitement about these consoles aren't quite what they used to be. PS4, I don't really recall people being super excited for it. They were. I mean, there was a lot of energy around it, but not like, in the old console days. And also a part of that is, again, because of exclusivity. It's not like Sony has like a huge library of games that you can only play on the PlayStation. And, Nintendo consoles still generate a good deal of hype, but I mean, I think that's also because they are more innovative in terms of delivering a console experience to you that's different than all the others. The Switch being mobile and having the two little nunchuck-like remotes. I forget what they actually call them. That you can separate from the console itself and all of that. And, that's cool. It's different, or at least it was before Steam Deck also kind of did the same. The Wii was different, and it's the combination of giving you something. Even the Wii U was a little different. The combination of giving you a different way to play a game, plus the exclusives that they had, Zelda, Mario, and all of that, Pokemon. That's always going to keep Nintendo with some level of interest and excitement for their consoles that I feel is waning for Xbox and PlayStation, because they're really just different looking versions, different physically looking versions of the same kind of thing. It's just a box with some, with a graphics card in it that plays the same kind of games that you're going to play everywhere else. You're going to play, you're going to play Ghost of Tsushima or whatever on the PlayStation just the same, or maybe Dark Souls is a better, play it just the same as you would play it on the Xbox, right? And the graphics are going to look a little better because it's a new generation of consoles, but is it going to look so much better that it justifies like a $600 price tag? And you just went out of your way trying to find a PS5, and there's like this massive shortage that's gone on for so long, and now they're kind of more prevalent, but they're talking about a new console over the horizon already, and it's like, I really want to deal with all this shit, and for what? Just to play a different version of Resident Evil or whatever that just kind of looks like a slightly better version than the one that I played on the last console. So I just don't know. I don't know if the appetite for a new system, I don't know if it's there. Maybe I'm mistaken. I could be in the wrong on that. I just don't feel it. Let's see. I think my extended rant made me miss a lot of chats here, so let me catch up on that. Game Pass has been helping Xbox break into the Asian market. It will be a real slow burn for now. Most of the games are still on PS4. That's true. New consoles mean nothing now. Another one will be around the corner. But I wonder if that's also like the whole it's just around the corner. I think that just might be a function of us getting older. How long was the SNES on the market before the N64 came out? So I feel like the SNES released in 1990, I want to say, and the N64 was 96. So was it 6 years between the SNES and N64? I mean, that seems like it might be in line with where we're at now. It's just time is flying by faster. It's flying by faster now for the old souls, as opposed to the glacial pace that time seems to move at when you're fucking 10 years old. I still love those 4 or 5 games on N64, though. I still hook up the console every couple years. I mean, hey, if it does it for you, then more power to you, but it is not my console of choice at all. Most of the love for N64 is nostalgia-driven. I agree. I had an N64 and a PS1, and I could tell you PS1 blew 64 out of the water. Oh, for sure. Dude, I still have a ton. I still have a ton of my PS1 games on my shelf in my room. A lot of them are the rarer games, too. Like, I don't even have all the ones that I used to play regularly when I was, a kid, because I sold those all to GameStop. But I managed, like, just before digital downloads started to take over, I managed to find a lot of, like, the rarer games that I liked and snag them before their value really skyrocketed. So, like, I have a lot of really interesting games in my PS1 collection. Nintendo and Sega was the console war. I mean, the console wars went through in my opinion, the PlayStation 2, and I think Xbox. Xbox was involved with the console wars to a degree, but eventually they stopped playing the game and started focusing more on just like acquisitions and existing, which, I understand. It's hard to beat Nintendo. Nintendo brutalized I guess maybe console war isn't quite what it evolved into. It just kind of became like a branding war. It was more of a branding war than a console war, because like Nintendo took over everything with the DS and those Pokemon games. And once they got to a point where they can just start printing money at will with their handhelds, like, it was pretty much over. It was pretty much over. Like, the PSP could not compete, and Microsoft, I guess, never had it. I guess, I don't know, maybe they released a handheld and I just never knew about it, but as far as I know, they never had an interest in the handheld market. And the handheld market was what it gave Nintendo a lot of its maneuverability, and it juiced up their brands too. Like, as long as they could keep pumping out those Pokemon games, Nintendo wasn't going to go anywhere. The console war lost its excitement because the consoles lost their competition and exclusivity. I kind of feel like the exclusivity thing is true. I also feel like a lot of the hardware is too similar across the different consoles now, and that makes the games all feel the same. Like, if you play a Genesis game from way back in the day, it kind of has a different feel than an SNES game, because like the hardware is so different. It definitely has a different sound. That Genesis sound chip was pretty grody, but the games just had a different sound and feel because the hardware was different, and the hardware limitations were very stringent, and companies had to find creative ways to make a game look and sound good on really restrictive hardware, which forced them to be more creative in their development processes. And since things weren't standardized, a bunch of different games of the same genre played in a bunch of different ways. I mentioned this talking about like the Unity engine stuff. Like, before Unreal became like the soup du jour for developers to make any kind of game off of, primarily first-person shooters for certain, or at least first-person games in general. Like, a lot of first-person shooters that would come out would be on proprietary game engines, or they would just be on a smattering of other different game engines, like that Tribes engine. whichever, I forget what the name of the Tribes game engine was, or any other kind. And like all of these first person shooters all felt very different from one another, because they were all just, you know, built on radically different engines that had radically different feels, and, you know, built to different specs, and it just made games feel a lot different. But there is like so much conformity now to the standards of what we expect a first person shooter to feel like, and a lot of that is also baked into the Unreal Engine. So if you wanted to make a first person shooter, you didn't have to rebuild the wheel from scratch. You would just take the components that are available to you there and have a first person shooter out the box. All those games start to feel alike, though. Like a lot of those games just kind of start to feel the same, and they kind of lose their individuality. They lose what makes them special. So I kind of think that a part of it is exclusivity, but a part of it is also just like the hardware all being the same. It's not forcing developers to be creative with how they have to build their games, because they don't really have to build towards like restrictions, which also is causing issues where they're just not optimizing their shit anymore. Like they don't have to optimize, or they don't have to really optimize. I guess they do on consoles still, but they don't. Like a lot of them don't. But there's issues now where they're just like the optimizations required for a lot of these games just aren't being properly done prior to release. So you end up having really shitty performances on launch. You have to wait like a year or so for a patch to really bring it up to snuff. And there's just all this other sort of shit that just kind of kills the uniqueness of what a console should be. You know, I think the consoles should have some subset of exclusivities, exclusive titles, and you know, those titles should be unique. They shouldn't just feel like, you know, every other kind of game that gets made on Unreal Engine or something. But that's also just, you know, the convergence of game development around a certain subset of monopolies. Just the whole heart of this issue, the whole part of the problem with Microsoft's, you know, we're just gonna buy everybody, you know, plan. And I think I may have mentioned my last stream, or at least the stream that I talked about the Unity engine, about how Microsoft was actually interested in buying Unity. There's the whole reason why ReCore existed as a game. They wanted to test Unity at that time, which was about 2016, 2015, 2016. They wanted to test Unity to see if it was capable of being able to build a robust AAA caliber blockbuster game. I think Unity might be capable of that now. I know there are a few games that have been built to that spec on the Unity engine, but for our process with ReCore and what we had to deal with, it was not ready for that primetime light then. But I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft is like watching Unity crash and burn right now, and are licking their chops at the prospects of maybe being able to purchase it cheaply and have a competitor versus Unreal. I'm not getting old. Oh, you're the oldest of us all. They say when you get older, you shrink, and I think that's why you're 5 feet tall, because you're ancient. You're 5 feet tall and you live in the mountains of Colorado. Like you are the definition of an ancient forest witch. The console hardware is the same because Sony and Microsoft decided to just chase graphics and FPS. Yes, that's accurate. Because like a lot of it is just that's the easiest thing to chase too. Like, it's cool to see Starfield doing so well, but games like that are a bitch and a half to develop. They're a pain in the ass to build out big, robust like role playing games and shit like that. And the appetite for something truly unique it kind of wanes, because you never know what the reception to a really unique experience is going to be. You could spend a shit ton of money building out something crazy that no one's ever seen before, but if nobody is receptive to it, then you just wasted all your money. And then guess what's going to happen to that studio? They're gonna get the Volition treatment, or the Gearbox treatment, or that Lord of the Rings Golem team treatment. So There is a strong resistance towards really sticking your neck out on something unique.
That to begin in 2028. If Microsoft's projection remains accurate, that means we're just a year and a half away from the midpoint of this current generation. 2028 places the PS5 and Xbox Series on an 8-year cycle, which is 1 year longer than the PS4 and Xbox One, and roughly the same length as the Xbox 360 and PS3 generation. The last few years have seen the gaming industry's biggest players go on an acquisition spree. We've seen Sony acquire Bungie, Microsoft acquire Bethesda.
This is not good for competition.
More. But in court documents, we learned that Microsoft had plans for some big-name acquisitions that didn't end up happening. Namely, Microsoft had conversations about acquiring Sega, Square Enix, Zynga, and even Bungie before Sony bought them. But Microsoft's ambitions went well beyond these big players. Internal documents reveal a list of 100 developers Microsoft considered at one point before narrowing it down to 8 final candidates. This list included Hades developers Supergiant Games, Pokemon Go's Niantic, IO Interactive, and more. We've always known modern AAA games cost a ton of money to
Niantic,
make.
that would have been interesting.
Now we have a good idea of just how expensive some of these games are. In a poorly redacted document submitted by Sony Interactive Entertainment.
That's funny. A poorly redacted. It's barely redacted. Wait, what's covering? I mean, I think you can even see. Wait, hold on. It says, for instance, development on Horizon Forbidden West, a 2022 SIE first-party release, lasted a total of blank years. But I think I can make that out. I think it says 6. But that's the funny thing. Starting in blank and ending in 2022. Well, you could just subtract 2020. You could. Okay. So I don't know what the point of this redaction is. The game costs. I can't quite make that out. Something million to develop, and peak headcount was over. I can't quite make that out either. Full-time employees. They're barely redacting it though.
Document submitted by Sony Interactive Entertainment, we learned The Last of Us Part 2 cost $220 million to develop, while Horizon Forbidden West cost $212 million.
$212
In the
million.
document,
Okay.
PlayStation said the costs are justified because AAA games, quote, create deep and ongoing...
$212 million, man. God damn. I mean, that's about blockbuster movie prices, which is kind of... Like a blockbuster movie is in production way less than for way shorter period of time than a game is. These games are in production for years, but 212 million, is that accurate?
Because AAA games, quote, create deep and ongoing engagements with players. These costs give more...
I wonder. Because it is a faster turnaround on putting a movie to film and then releasing it on screen. Even a $200 million movie, is only maybe a couple of years, maybe a year and a half, depending. But if we're talking about these games being in development for like 6+ years, then I have to imagine that unless they're just paying people super shitty wages, which is, that's the game industry soup du jour, although that has been changing recently, I would have to imagine those budgets would have to be more than 200 million. Yeah, Star Wars The Old Republic had a $200 million budget. I remember that. I remember talking about that at the time when I was working there. But let's see how long that was. I guess I was in development for 6 years too. I was years before like this generation of hardware and software though. But I don't know. I'm kind of suspicious of those numbers. I would like to see an actual like line item breakdown on that budget before I fully believe that these games are only 200 mil.
Context to recent comments from Xbox Game Studios' Matt Booty, who said big budget AAA games can take half a decade or more to make, and that failure can potentially ruin a studio. Unsurprisingly, Call of Duty was at the center of almost the entire courtroom battle over the past week. Activision's biggest asset came up repeatedly, with the FTC raising concerns about exclusivity or the potential of Activision releasing a worse version of Call of Duty on PlayStation. Call of Duty's impact makes sense given that the same poorly redacted document from Sony revealed that Call of Duty generated over $800 million for PlayStation in the United States alone just in 2021. From Phil Spencer testifying under oath that Xbox will keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, to claims that Activision CEO Bobby Kotick threatened to pull Call of Duty.
Why do people love these fucking games so much?
Microsoft granted Activision a higher revenue share. We learned a lot about the
I gotta say, I loved Call of Duty and Call of Duty 2. Like, the World War II aspect of it was interesting to me. But once the game series kind of turned into like fucking weirdo neo-libertarian military sock ops kind of cosplaying bullshit, like, I don't understand. I just lost interest completely. Like, this does not speak to me at all. And it's kind of I guess maybe I understand. I guess I get it. Maybe it's a fun game. I don't know. Maybe it's fun. I guess it speaks to a certain demographic of people, but man, I am definitely not a part of that demographic.
Value of the franchise to both Sony and Microsoft. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan made it clear that he's not exactly a fan of Xbox's Starfield exclusivity. That being said, he admitted that he doesn't think it's anti-competitive. Publicly, PlayStation has been the biggest opponent of the Microsoft-Activision merger. But privately, it's a bit of a different story. In an email sent after Microsoft announced its intent to acquire Activision Blizzard, Ryan wrote, quote, "I'm pretty sure we will continue to see Call of Duty on PlayStation for many years to come," expressing that PlayStation would be more than okay if the transaction was approved. Starfield is coming out this September as an Xbox exclusive, but that wasn't always going to necessarily be the case. Xbox boss Phil Spencer confirmed that Starfield was potentially going to skip Xbox entirely prior to Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax. Xbox was worried about losing out on Starfield following PlayStation's exclusivity deals for Bethesda games like Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop. Spencer said Microsoft had to secure
Is Ghostwire Tokyo any good? I don't know anything about that game. Is that any good? I got Deathloop. That was one of the first games I got once I built this machine, and it's all right. I enjoyed it well enough. But I was always interested in Ghostwire Tokyo. Call of Duty 2 was the best one, IMO. I agree. I worked on that game. Like, the multiplayer was fun as hell. I liked it a lot. And I always liked the World War II setting more than like the modern stuff too. So I think I'm just maybe a little biased.
Remain viable in the business. Xbox did so by acquiring ZeniMax altogether, locking down Starfield and a whole lot more as an Xbox exclusive. The FTC tried to prove that Xbox's treatment of ZeniMax games could demonstrate how the company will handle exclusivity when it comes to Activision Blizzard games. One piece of evidence used was a chat exchange between Xbox's Tim Stewart and Matt Booty. The chat log focused on a November 2021 meeting where Phil Spencer apparently decided to make all future Bethesda games Xbox exclusives, not just new IP. Exclusives came up in a number of different ways during the hearing, especially with regard to ZeniMax. We learned that Machine Games' upcoming AAA Indiana Jones game was at one point set to be a multi-platform release before Microsoft's acquisition changed the plans. In terms of other future games, Spencer claimed that final decisions on platforms for upcoming Bethesda games like Obsidian's The Outer Worlds 2 and Bethesda Game Studios' The Elder Scrolls 6 have not been made yet. But with Spencer's apparent decision in mind, it seems like deciding Xbox exclusivity for these titles is more of a formality than an actual decision at this point. Speaking of The Elder Scrolls 6, don't expect to play the Skyrim follow-up anytime soon. We already knew that The Elder Scrolls 6 was set to be Bethesda Game Studios' next priority following Starfield, with Fallout 5 coming after that, but Spencer said the game is still, quote, 5+ years away. Well, do the math, and 5 years from now is 2028, which puts us in the window for the next console generation we discussed earlier. So it's possible that The Elder Scrolls 6 could be a cross-generation release, but it's also possible that it might skip this console generation entirely. For all the talk of exclusives, multiple industry figures took the stand to say they don't care for exclusives at all. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said he, quote, has no love for console exclusives, and that Microsoft plays the exclusive game to stay competitive with market leaders, aka Sony. Activision CEO Bobby Kotick agreed, saying making Call of Duty Xbox exclusive isn't in Activision's best interest, and it would actually be detrimental to business.
I agree with that.
Quote, you would alienate over 100 million monthly active players, Kotick said. Half of them play on phones, but the rest of them play on computer and PlayStation, and you would have a revolt if you were to remove the game from more than one platform. Gamers are very passionate. And so with that kind of investment, time, and effort, you get an enthusiastic, passionate group of people. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan had strong words for Xbox Game Pass, claiming he, quote, talked to all the publishers and they unanimously do not like Game Pass because it is value destructive. Ryan also claimed Game Pass
I think that's what makes Game Pass worthwhile, huh?
IGN reached out to Xbox for comment, and Xbox pointed out that every Game Pass title announced at the recent Xbox Game Showcase is coming from a creator that's previously worked with the subscription service. And there are multiple examples of publishers in favor of Xbox Game Pass, so it's not entirely clear who Ryan is referring to. We know that Activision's Bobby Kotick doesn't want to see his games on subscription services, as he said, quote, I don't agree with the idea of a multi-game subscription service as a business proposition going forwards, but we can agree to disagree, referring to Activision and Microsoft. The Nintendo Switch.
I think on that they're probably seeing what's happening in the streaming space for film and television with respects to Netflix and Disney Plus and all of that, and they're seeing the impacts of what always available on demand streaming for their titles does, what it could potentially do, I guess, to the perceived value of their brand, which I have to imagine is a little bit of what's going into some of that thought process. It would be, I understand that, like, if you're going to sell Call of Duty for $70 a pop or whatever, you want to sell $70 a pop to each individual person that wants to play the game rather than, you know, having some subset of players access it via some streaming service. So it makes sense to me that they would be opposed to Game Pass, but I think Game Pass also just, you know, it has value. It has value to players, to consumers who, you know, don't have or want to spend $70 a pop, you know, when a new title comes out. And even if it's not new, like, some of those games are expensive years after release. It's not like the PlayStation 2 games, the PlayStation 2 era, where it was like, oh, this game is a year and a half old. Well, it's now $29 instead of $49. Or it's the greatest hits version of this Shadow of Colossus or whatever. So it's $20 or $14 or however much the greatest hits versions were. Like, that concept I don't think exists anymore. Like, they're just fucking you for whatever you'll let them fuck you for. And you'll either smile about it or you'll frown about it, but whatever way you respond to it, you're still getting fucked one way or another. Yeah, I changed my mind about Microsoft making Call of Duty exclusive. They make a lot of money from it being on PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Like, all of those games that kind of, the games whose brands transcend consoles, like Madden and shit, FIFA, it is counterintuitive to make any of those exclusive to any console. Call of Duty, like, it's counterintuitive. You could make Halo exclusive because it's always been that way, pretty much. And you can keep Mario and Zelda exclusive. It's always been that way. But for something that has been available on every platform for like decades, like there's no putting that toothpaste back in the tube. Once it has like a certain amount of market saturation. I guess Elder Scrolls is a different story. I guess Elder Scrolls has always been kind of exclusive to a little bit, I guess. No, I guess not really. Not really. I guess Morrowind was on the Xbox. Was there a Morrowind on PlayStation 3? I don't think so. I think it was just Skyrim, right? I don't think Morrowind was ever on PlayStation 3. Which I guess would make Skyrim the... No, so it was Oblivion as well. So yeah, I guess Elder Scrolls, but Elder Scrolls also didn't have like the market penetration that Call of Duty or FIFA had, or FIFA has. So it's a balancing act for sure.
Undeniable smash hit. But that wasn't obvious to everyone when Nintendo was emerging from the Wii U era in 2017. In fact, even Activision's Bobby Kotick underestimated the Nintendo Switch when he saw a prototype for the machine. Now he admits it was a mistake to not develop more software for Switch, and says Activision will consider putting a Call of Duty on future Nintendo consoles once they have the specs of the next device. There's a lot more to read about regarding this week's huge trial as we all await a ruling. Head on over to IGN.com for tons of in-the-courtroom reporting and expert analysis as we wait to find
Game Pass
out
is the modern
what
Sega
future
Channel.
of Xbox.
Man, I used to like the Sega Channel. I used to like the Sega Channel a lot. All right. Should I play... Okay, I'm going to let you guys choose. Should I play Starfield? Should I? Because I can't, I still have my addiction to Starfield. Should I play Starfield? Should I play Warhammer Bolt Gun? Because I do have that. Or should I try this 10 Dates demo? Play Warhammer or 10 Dates? What the heck?
The phone.
What's happening? For some news.
Okay.
I signed up for speed dating.
Why are you telling me this? Isha?
I might have signed us both up.
I was duped into coming here this evening.
There's no substitute for meeting someone face to face. This is where you're going to find that genuine connection you keep banging on about.
I'm not doing this.
Oh, these people are British.
How does it work?
The women stay at the table, the men go to
Or
the
Australian, I can't quite tell.
Hello. And good luck.
Oh, British, I saw that.
I actually have an ambition to be famous. After a little tactical woman, we were ready to go to the club. Is that a satanic symbol?
Soulmates. No. Fancy a test of strength?
How about we do an arm wrestle?
All right.
No, I'm kidding.
Get your arm on the table, lad.
I can't help thinking about you.
What I need is my own
Surrender. Try to win.
just cleaning my workstation cut.
All right, I'm gonna try this then. Let's try this demo. Let's see what's up. I thought I downloaded this damn thing already. All right. Gotta sharpen my Sharpen my dating chops. Let me change my stream profile stuff. Let's see. Oh, I can only do Ryan in the demo? Oh, I was gonna do Misha. Can I not change any of that? Alright, sure. Wait, what's going on here? I don't know what's happening. Oh, okay, I can't. Okay. What does that mean? Oh, okay, I could. Wait, that's it? Okay, well, let's go with this one then, I guess. It's a pretty basic looking picture. What industry do you work? Finance, creative, healthcare, other. Finance, creative, healthcare, or other. Let's do other. What are your interests? Travel. Partying and technology. What is your sign? Oh, am I gonna use my sign? Let's go for it. I'll just be a Gemini then. Is the audio on this too loud? It feels too loud.
Ah, and there was me having a good day.
Well, it's just become great. You're welcome.
What's happening?
I just got back from work an hour ago.
Same.
I've made myself some food.
Same.
And I've just got off the phone with my landlord.
Oh, not same.
Yeah, I missed a payment, but it's fine. I've paid it now, and it's settled anyway.
Anyway, I've got some news.
Okay.
I joined a dating app.
Have you?
No, the audio is good. Okay,
they
good.
are inevitable.
I was expecting more shit from you.
Well, what's the saying they have? People in glass houses can't throw stones.
No way, you too. Matches?
Why are they
Yes,
so?
a lot.
Why are they?
No, zero.
But don't like apps like help
A
out
dating app
people
isn't
with
that
likes
unique.
and,
You're not
you know,
helping.
they really try and help you get people to like you because you're new.
Misha,
It's
I
not
still
that
have
unique
zero,
to
even
be on
with
a
whatever
dating
you
app.
just said. There's still zero. What about you?
Hey, the grass isn't always greener. I've got like 80 likes. But like once you filter out like the bad profiles and the nude pics and the meh ones, it's all just a bit quiet.
Are your standards a little bit high?
No! Anyway, I have a new initiative in the works.
What's that? You gonna kidnap someone?
I've signed up for speed dating tonight.
Okay, why are you telling me this?
Because I'm bricking it and like, do you want to have a drink before?
Could you just say less? It'd be great if you just stopped speaking about 30 seconds ago.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, these two people are kind of annoying.
Because there's no substitute for meeting someone face to face. Like you can see their physicality, feel their vibe.
Yes, but what if there is no vibe? What do you do then? If you're online, you can log off, you can make it an excuse, you can just be gone. My internet connection was crap. What do you do here?
Welcome everyone to Speed Dating. My name's Derek, I'm your host. We're going to be beginning very shortly, so gentlemen, if you could make your way to your
That guy is
table
wearing
numbers.
like a
You are
velvet
so
suit.
clever. This is where you're going to find that genuine connection. You
It's
keep
like a
banging
game
on
show
about.
host from the 70s.
Why? Are you
Although I do
smiling at
like
me
that color. I do like that color on his
Ni-
jacket.
Why are you smiling at me like that?
No, I'm not smiling. You like anything.
Misha,
There is a small possibility I might have signed us both up.
I'm not doing it.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'll just leave.
Oh, come on.
No.
Look, at least it's going to be a good story.
It is not going to be a good story. I'm just going to get humiliated. You've been preparing for this. I'm not doing it.
It's a great story. Oh, he's browsing. He's browsing the shop floor.
How does it work?
Sorry, what?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Okay, so the women stay at the table, the men, you, rotate around them.
I'm a man now.
So you go to different tables and you speak to girls.
What do I say?
Whatever you like, but you have 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
And halfway through the date, that dude over there will give us a warning. And then he'll also tell us when there's 1 minute left to wrap it up. So essentially, you've got to use your time wisely, which I know you're not good at.
No. Hence why I don't want to do it.
Exactly.
We're gonna start with the gentleman by your first allotted table numbers, and good luck. Have fun.
You're sitting in my first date seat, so I need you to jog on. Go well, lad. Cheers.
I didn't really think speed dating was still a thing. I gotta tell you, I'm doing a sober September, and them pouring those drinks really made me want to drink right now.
Hey.
I'll just do my water and my whiskey glass.
Here for the interview. You been on holiday? You got that healthy beach glow.
Really? What's a holiday?
Can't understand a word he's
That's
saying.
Stag do.
Nice. What did you get up to today?
Just played some five-a-side football with the boys. Yeah, pretty knackered.
I just went to the supermarket.
Pretty knackered.
Shop.
Do you still do that in person? I do it all online now, it's easy.
Yeah, of course. I've got to squeeze my fruits.
Why do you need to squeeze the fruits? What do you need to know about them? Their names? Hi, I'm Lenny. I'm a lemon.
That actually is a good name for a lemon, though.
Lenny, shut up, mate. Get him a gin and tonic.
Oh, lemons and G&Ts. That's ballsy.
Boy.
Tell me you're a lime girl.
We're rivals.
That's a problem.
So, your name?
What about it?
Well, it's got to be a nickname, right?
Am I just too old, or are these people just too sugary?
Long story.
Condense it?
No, it's a long story. Leave it.
Oh, don't leave me guessing. At least give me some options.
You're an option.
So are you.
I'm gonna press the
I
issue.
promise I won't judge. I'm just really curious.
Okay, so it all started with an awkward boner.
I beg your pardon?
Okay, look, I was 11 and I was on a school adventure trip and I got an awkward boner while I was waiting for my turn to go abseiling. And obviously everyone thought I was, you know...
Having a bash.
Yeah.
Having a
And you
bash.
got
What does that
nickname
mean?
voluntarily.
Well, everyone calls me it, so I don't really have a choice, do I?
This is your halfway warning, guys. 3 minutes to go. I know, it flies, doesn't it?
So have you got any nicknames?
No, but my name is already sort of a nickname, apparently. It means Michael in Russian.
Michael. I knew someone called Michael once. He nicked my girlfriend in year 6.
I'm sure she could choose for herself.
Can I call you Mike? Have you got any real nicknames then?
God, no one's ever asked me about nicknames before.
Well, I am honoured to be the first.
I'll make up a
Come on, all
nickname.
night.
My mate Ryan calls me Muggy Misha. I apparently mug him off a lot.
In the blue corner, the biggest rocket here tonight, Muggy.
I think I might just be too American and to understand a lot of the words they're saying. Mug him off?
So,
What does mug
did you
him
do
off
any
mean?
exercise during lockdown?
Oh, seamless.
I'm just trying to keep the chat moving forward.
Lockdown. It's dragging it up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a weird time, wasn't it?
Not really, you know.
Oh, I'd have been bouncing off the walls if I hadn't done any exercise. I found it well hard not being able to, play football and go to the gym, Felt actually quite down, actually, and exercise always makes you feel better, doesn't it? It's good.
Why is she looking at him like that? What? So the guy likes... I mean, I said no, but that doesn't mean, like, this dude's a cunt or anything.
Tallinn, Estonia?
Yes, knowledge.
Stag capital of Europe, right?
So we had to see what all the hype was about. The second night was an absolute madness, okay? We were all in these morph suits, right? And the groom had to wear this mankini. By 5 p.m, he was absolutely...
All right, just keep listening. Just keep
After a little
listening.
tactical vomit, we were ready to go to the club. It was the best night any of us had ever had. Drinks were flowing, there were back-to-back bangers on the playlist. All the lads, they were all together.
That's great.
Then there's a little bumper. This bird takes a liking to the groom. Wants to go back to his room.
Bird.
No freaking way he didn't.
Don't worry. Big Bad Bash was there to intercept the potential disaster.
No, it's not exactly encouraging for a happily married life, is it?
Yeah. We all had a big old heart-to-heart with him the morning after about it. That's all we can do as his mates, you know? In my mind, cheating is absolutely unacceptable. And his wife-to-be, she deserves better.
Oh, this is commendable on your part.
I have to have some principles, don't I?
We've got 1 minute to go, guys. Just 1 minute. So we'll be wrapping up very soon.
Seems like we might be drawing to a close.
You sick of me already?
Definitely. You seen anyone you like, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah. What about you?
You didn't answer me properly.
What more do you want from me?
I don't know, some more detail? Names, maybe?
Nope, no names necessary.
I may have seen a few hotties.
Yeah? All right, show me. Oh, don't be like that.
Like what?
She's trying to make me jealous.
Trying.
Oh, whatever, man.
And your
What is going on here? It just became unnecessarily hostile.
Table.
All right, see you around.
Nice to meet you.
Come on, spill the beans. How do they go?
Oh man.
Okay. Bash. Well, firstly, he's called Bash, which tells you everything you need to know. Do you know what? He was really charming. He had really great banter.
In a good way, yeah.
In a really good way. He had a slightly funny haircut, but we'll let him have that.
So, do you think there could be another date?
He was really sweet. I just don't think we're each other's types.
Simple as that?
Sometimes it is just as simple as that.
Simple
Yeah,
as.
no, I agree, yeah. So, Misha, what's gonna happen next?
I don't know if you heard what I just said, but like, I don't really have many options.
Yeah, well, we could have some options. We could
Drink.
drink.
So what about you? Tell me about your speed dating.
That's the demo. That was a very short demo. Not a lot going on there. Why a sober September? I've not heard of this phenomenon. Well, you know, I just like so I don't really drink a lot, really. So it's not like it was a necessity, but I am endeavoring to lose a little bit of weight, and I am endeavoring to improve a little bit of my stomach biome health. So cutting out the alcohol for at least a month is a step towards both of those goals. So that's really about the long and short of it. This is cool. I've never seen any of her story. I could follow what this guy is saying, but he has the thickest accent I've heard on any of these dates. Yeah, for someone like me who is like really bad with accents, like he was probably the worst person to start off with. Because as soon as he rolled up, I was like, I'm sorry, what the fuck are you saying? It's a good thing I have subtitles here. But explore more interactive movies in the Wells Interactive Collection. Okay, well, I guess that was the demo, huh? I mean, short ass demo. I guess that was all right. That wasn't bad. I might. How much is this? I might pick it up. It seems neat. It seems neat. I'm kind of interested in $16. I'm kind of interested in continuing on with Misha's Quest. That actually sounds like an RPG of its own. Misha's Quest. It was a pretty short demo. I'm guessing that there are 10, but like I'm guessing by the name that there are 10 dates that you go on. So 1 out of 10, I guess, is the most they were willing to give you. Should I get it or should I? Let me think. The guy's date is the other half of the demo. Oh, you're right. I didn't play his. Well, shit. Let me do that then. You know what? I'm gonna play his side of the demo, and then I'm gonna play Warhammer Bolt Gun. I might pick this up though and give it a full playthrough. All right, Ryan, let's see what you have. Show me what you've got. I mean, you can't go... Oh, Jesus, what the fuck? No. No, no, never make that. I mean, cute dog. Can never go wrong with that. I'm gonna stick with this right here. I'll say healthcare. Not that it matters. I don't think any of this comes up in, like, the first date, at least. Interested in food and drink. Arts and culture. Partying. I'll still stick with Gemini.
Misha.
No time to pause. Get back out there. Come on, guys, chill. I just want to see if I could skip this since I've already watched this.
Ah, and there was me having a good day.
Well, it's just become great. You're welcome.
What's happening?
I just got back from work an hour ago.
Same.
I've made myself some food.
Same.
And I've just got off the phone with my landlord.
Oh, not same.
Yeah, I missed a payment, but it's fine. I've paid it now, and it's settled anyway.
Anyway, I've got some
I feel
news.
like you have to watch this starting bit again.
I joined a dating app.
Hey, all right, well,
I mean,
lame.
They are inevitable.
I was expecting more shit from you.
Well, what's the saying they have? People in glass houses can't throw stones.
No way, you too.
Mm-hmm.
Matches?
Yes, a lot. No, 0.
But don't like apps like help out new users with
Misha,
like likes and
you're not
you know,
helping.
they really try and help you get people to like you because you're new.
Misha, I still have 0 even with whatever you just said. There's still 0. What about you?
Hey, the grass isn't always greener. I've got like 80 likes. But like once you filter out like the bad profiles and the nude pics and the meh ones, it's all just a bit quiet.
Are your standards a little bit high?
No. Anyway, I have a new initiative in the works.
What's that? You gonna kidnap someone?
I've signed up for speed dating tonight.
Okay, why are you telling me this?
Because I'm bricking it and like, do you want to have a drink before?
Could you just say less? It'd be great if you just stopped speaking about 30 seconds ago.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.
All right. These fucking Brits showing off their trains, their fancy train systems.
Because there's no substitute for
In Texas, that montage would have been like you being stuck in traffic,
Yes,
yelling at the guy who just cut you off.
If you're online, you can log off, you can make it an excuse, you can just be gone. My internet connection was crap. What do you do here?
Welcome, everyone, to Speed Dating. My name's Derek. I'm your host. We're going to be beginning very shortly, so gentlemen, if you could make your way to your table numbers.
You are so cynical. This is where you're going to find that genuine connection you keep banging on about.
Why are you smiling at me like that? Why are you smiling at me like that?
No, I'm not smiling at you like anything.
Misha?
There is a small possibility I might have signed us both up.
I'm not doing it.
You are!
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'll just leave.
Oh, come on.
No.
Look, at least it's going to be a good story.
It is not going to be a good story. I'm just going to get humiliated. You've been preparing for this. I'm not doing it.
It's a great story. Oh, he's browsing. He's browsing the shop floor.
How does it work?
Sorry, what?
Don't make me repeat myself.
Okay, so the women stay at the table, the men, you, rotate around them.
I'm a man now.
So you go to different tables and you speak to girls.
What do I say?
Whatever you like, but you have 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
And halfway through the date, that dude over there will give us a warning. And then he'll also tell us when there's 1 minute left to wrap it up. So essentially, you've got to use your time wisely, which I know you're not good at.
No, hence why I don't want to do it.
Exactly.
We're going to start with the gentlemen by your first allotted table numbers. And good luck. Have fun.
You're sitting in my first date seat, so I need you to jog on. Go well, lad. Cheers.
Oh, are we done? Are we ready? Oh, it's the drinks montage. Ah, boy, I could use a drink.
Hi there. I'm Ryan. Can I sit?
Well, okay, why is she even
Randy.
here? Why is she here if
What
she's
you
like
do
that
for a living?
standoffish?
I work in healthcare.
Oh, amazing. I mean, must have been a bit shit being wrapped in plastic all day for the last 2 years, though.
Yeah, it got a little bit stuffy every now and then. What do you do?
I'm a beautician.
Ah, so you help people too.
I guess so.
Hmm?
But it doesn't earn me what I want, so I'm doing an online course in international relations, and I trade crypto.
Crypto. Nope. Get rid of this woman.
What?
Kick the table over. Kick the table over.
Digital art that has its own online market.
Where's the option to like sweep everything off the table and run away?
Sounds interesting.
It is. It is. Sorry if I'm quite direct about things. We just don't have a lot of time.
Sure. Can
What
I?
are you looking for?
Okay, that is a big.
I'll be
question.
sarcastic.
Important question.
Well, I mean, whatever I can get, really. I mean, they didn't do any background checks here, so I couldn't really pass up on that opportunity. Although, you might be an axe murderer for all I know.
Obviously not.
The crypto trading beautician is a pretty suspicious cover story.
Are you making fun of me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no.
Yes. Yes.
I am being sarcastic. I am doing it badly, mind you, but I was.
You were joking. Right. No, that is actually quite funny. Sorry, I don't really get British humor sometimes. You know, I wasn't born here.
Irish humor, but.
Right.
But you have been here for a while by the sounds of things. Do you live locally?
Yeah, I bought a one bed up the road. It's top floor with an amazing view of the water.
You bought a penthouse.
The NFT was pretty valuable.
Oh, she's definitely lying because
What do
that
you
no
mean?
NFT has ever been valuable.
I live on my own as well.
Flat,
Yep.
buy it or rent it.
Back to the quickfire round.
I mean, we're covering a lot.
Yeah, we are.
So,
Renting, but I have been there for a while, so I feel settled. Like it feels like home, so I like it.
yeah, I mean, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
This is your 3-minute warning, guys. 3 minutes to go. Just 3 minutes of lovely conversation.
Okay, let's move on to
Foreign affairs. All right, let's talk foreign policy.
I do.
Where do you go? What sort of holidays do you take?
What kind are you into, though?
I allowed to say a lad's holiday?
Go for it. You won't hear from me again, though.
You can't beat a beach holiday for a bit of R&R.
I don't know what a
Very
lat's
true.
holiday is.
Vitamin D is essential for our well-being. You aren't a Speedos guy, though.
No. I can't pull them off.
Won't ask why. I could only afford to travel recently, so I've got a lot of places on my list.
Well, what's the top of the list?
There's more than one thing. Cruise the Galapagos Islands. Meet the sloths and turtles in Costa Rica.
Just gonna keep listening. Just let it go.
Between Brazil and Argentina. I don't know. For me, it's more about experiences. You know, I'm not so much into the historical stuff.
Yeah, but and seeing new cultures as well. Like, it's amazing to go to new places and see the different people and all the places that you're in operate on a daily basis. So, have you been traveling alone?
I like doing things my way.
Do you never get bored? Or lonely, like having to go to dinner on your own all the time?
Well, I've got my phone or tablet for entertainment and talking to people, but if I want less screen time,
Nice.
I always keep a deck on deck. I mean, I picked this one up ages ago. I think it's got
She's like an
an
old
extra
gambler.
king in there somewhere.
An extra king. That might come in handy.
Depends on the game.
Like a literally
next
traveling
question.
grifter from like the
Does body
70s.
count matter?
Holy moly. I was not expecting that
I
question.
didn't hear what she
Well, you're
said.
getting too smug.
I'll just say yes.
So,
I don't know what the question
what do you
was.
think?
For me, it does.
Why should anyone's past have any relevance to the present?
Because sex is a big deal. I think I would find it difficult to be intimate with someone if I knew that many other people had shared that.
I have no idea what that question was, but this answer is awesome.
1 minute to go, guys. Just 1 minute. So we'll be wrapping up very soon.
So, how did my questions make you feel?
There's a customer satisfaction survey.
Your feedback is greatly valued.
Is it actually, though?
I'm just gonna say nice. I'll be nice and say nice.
It was nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's all you get, crypto
Good
bro.
thing, right?
Nice is a boring word that has no real meaning. Tell me the truth.
I genuinely thought it was nice. Right?
Okay.
And your time is up. Thank you, ladies and gents. Lads, move on to your next table. Your date is awaiting.
Don't forget any of your stuff when you go.
I didn't bring any. Right, well, thanks.
Just take off, man. She was bad news the second you pulled up to the table. Like the very second you pulled up to the table.
Well, there was Brandy. Let me tell you about Brandy. My God, she would put you to shame the amount of work she would do. She is.
Wow, what a combination.
I don't even know how she finds the time to do all of it.
Was there a spark?
Yeah, there was. I liked her. She'd make you raise your game, you know.
And your game needs to be raised.
What an
Well,
awful
thank you,
combination of words to say.
So, what's the next move?
Well, I have.
Alat's holiday means the boys went away for the weekend, like to Vegas. Oh, okay, I got
Yeah, one's better than none.
One is definitely better than none.
Proud of you.
Peace.
I don't know anything about dating. Well, I mean, that's what this game is for. It's so that it can show you what's going on out there in the world of I guess really annoying British online dating. What? Select your second date. Is this the person I was just... Why is this a thing? Wait, do I have to pick a picture? Alright, how about this one? And then, enter? Wait, what's happening here? I don't know what's going on. Okay, well, for some reason it made me do that. More drinks!
I'm working late tonight, but if you give me your number...
Wait, am I actually gonna go through this again a second time?
Yeah.
Why would she ever agree to it? First of all, why would he even ask? He clearly didn't enjoy it. But why would she even agree?
Cool. Hey, you right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Were you ordering drinks from him?
No, I was waiting for you. I wouldn't order for someone before they arrived.
Why would you challenge
So
that?
he was asking for your number.
Wait, what is happening here? Why is this immediately like
He didn't
contentious
sound
and
much of a
weird?
chance, does he? Have you seen me?
You're right. Yeah, but because he isn't my type. Not because you are. That wasn't my real number anyway. So, how's your week been?
A bit of work now, a bit of dating. Would you like a drink?
I will. I'll just have a tonic water.
Hey. Hello? Could we get a tonic water, please, and a beer? Thank you.
I do like her shirt, I will say that.
Well,
That's a pretty neat
My
shirt.
week has been standard as yours. Regular hours at the salon, after hours studying, and when I can, checking the crypto markets. So this is my self-care time.
Oh, God, I hope not to disappoint.
Oh, you won't. Because I am having fun tonight. Whether you like it or not.
I thought my brain has been warped by my brain has been warped by living in Austin. I thought she was gonna pull out a bag of blow.
So we can still chat.
It's like I'm having fun tonight. I thought she was pulling out a bag of blow.
What, like strip, higher or lower?
Points. One for each correct guess. First person to get 3 ahead wins.
Why am I noticing that you have made all of the rules since our speed date?
Get used to it. I'm a fair person though, so I will give you a secret about myself for every correct guess.
Fair?
Oh boy. Oh, I'm playing a fucking guessing game? I should pay more attention to the dialogue.
You go first. Is the next card higher or lower?
7 is a tricky one because there's a pretty even amount of cards higher and lower.
I'm gonna say lower.
Lower. And it is an ace. The highest value card, which means your turn.
Yeah, that means the next card is lower by default. I guess lower.
I mean, ace, 2, 3, 4.
So what, 4 is pretty low.
Not the lowest though.
Higher. It has to be higher. Oh, shit. And what, now you've got a 2, the lowest value card.
Which means the next card is higher by default. I guess higher.
Honestly, this is just unfair.
You saw me shuffling. It's all about how the cards fall.
This is a game more about luck than skill, isn't it?
There's tactical risk too. I mean, are you a lucky person?
Well, I would say luck comes in many forms.
It does, but generally, do you land on your feet a lot?
Yeah. He seems to be doing well for himself.
I am a young man living in London with a roof over my head. I would say all of that is pretty good fortune.
But what about specifics? What you've gotten versus what you wanted?
That's actually a pretty good way to calculate luck. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things that I wish I'd gotten, you know, a job or, I don't know, like trivial things, presents. What about you? Do you have any first world problems that you wish you had a little bit more luck with?
Plenty, but they don't bother me. They're stupid. Your guess?
What do we have? The last card was a 9.
Odds favor lower, but you've still got 10 and the other honor cards, which are higher.
Just gonna keep rolling the dice on lower, I guess.
Lower.
Should have gambled. Want to see how it's done? Higher.
Shit.
I appreciate you.
Name your prize.
How about you have to be my personal waiter for the evening?
What can I get you, madam?
A vodka martini, please.
I feel like
do
that
have a
game was
confession,
rigged.
though. I
Game was
have
rigged.
had this deck of cards for years, so some of the cards have scuffs that I recognize.
So that is how you guess so many right. You hustled me.
Oh no, I don't know all of them.
I told
but
you it was rigged.
It might have influenced some of my guesses.
Yeah, you think?
Fine.
So it was a vodka martini, is it, madam?
Yes, 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 please, waiter.
I'll save the riot act for later.
That was a really fun night.
Yeah.
Why do coin flips
Yeah, it was.
always
I'll
almost
give you most of the
always
credit.
land opposite of how
You
it's
also
positioned in
did
the
that.
hand?
I know it did.
I mean,
This is where you tell
almost
me
always
which
is
side had a great
50%.
night.
Yeah, I thought that was implied.
You got a
Come on,
50-50
mind
shot.
reader.
You live just up the road, right?
I do. You can walk me to my door.
This guy is either like 6'6" or she's like 5 foot even.
So who's gonna get the third date?
Guy's wearing a dad sweater.
No commentary, please.
He's scrolling.
scrolling back. Oh.
Oh, okay. I guess that's it. All right, that was interesting. All right, that was 10 dates. I had 3 of them at least. I had 3 of the 10. It was interesting. Men's tutorial is longer than female, so sexist. Yeah, it was very, very sexist of them to give me more of the male experience than the female one. This must have been developed by chauvinists.
Pig up.
Is it Wells Interactive? What other? Let's take a peek before I pop on Warhammer. Let's take a peek at some of their other titles here real quick. Just as a professional curiosity. This is Skier Ritual? What is Skier Ritual? Wait, what the heck? Made of Skier? Is this a franchise? What the fuck is Skier? The round-based co-op survival FPS and spin-off to the award-winning British horror Made of Skier. Play solo or up to 4 players to survive the supernatural onslaught of the Quiet Ones. That sounds very Lovecraftian. Oh, he has like a... Even the main protagonist looks like a horror movie character. I mean, it looks kind of neat. It looks kind of neat. Lucky. Aw, he gave you a gun. Nothing better happened to that dog. So, I mean, it doesn't really look like the enemy AI is anything special. It looks like it's just hordes of mindless NPCs just running at you. And a lamb for some reason. All right. Skier Ritual. I was playing Blade and Sorcery again. I feel like that game makes me a sociopath. What is Blade and Sorcery? Is that VR magic game? VR swords and sorcery game? Well, I mean, it's Blade and Sorcery. Sword and Sorcery, Blade and Sorcery. Is that the VR one? Looks like Left 4 Dead with more of a focus on horror. Let's see what Made of Skier is. Blade and Sorcery sounds familiar. I think I may have watched some video over it. If that's the VR game I'm thinking of, then I was thinking about getting it for the Vive I have downstairs. That's the only game where I cut off someone's limbs, put them in a box, and throw it at someone. Lord. It's the VR game where you have magic and blades. I guess dumb question on my part. Blade and Sorcery, is that the Sword and Sorcery game? I feel like I watched this trailer recently. Because that part looked familiar. Like, the running and falling on that, and then like having a... I forget where I watched this trailer before. Unless it's just some really eerie deja vu. These guys make a lot of interesting games, it looks like. Between the FMV dating sim and this weird horror franchise, The Complex. Is this another FMV game?
We stand on the precipice of history. Our teams have been working with some of the country's top scientists.
We need proper assurances about these nanocells, Dr. Tennant. Why should we continue to bankroll someone so young?
All I can ask is that you trust me. I will deliver.
We need to get you on the scene immediately.
See? How? Nothing leaves or enters the lab without us knowing about it.
The safety of London is paramount.
Paramount.
Can't risk a bug getting into the city. Help me. Time is running out.
I wish I could speak with a Scottish accent.
The supply tent's been depleted. There's only one vial left. What are you gonna do?
Save Dima, save Talo. Oh, it's a Sophie's choice.
The nanocells cannot fall into the wrong hands.
Make a decision.
We're in this together.
I trust you.
She'd be sacrificing herself to save millions.
I'm not a murderer. How do I save them both?
The Complex. An interactive movie. Oh, interesting. These guys are all in on FMV. What is Late Shift? Is this another one? These guys are all in on like these FMV games, and I'm for it. I've been saying for a while that I'd like to see FMV games brought back. Boneworks and Bone Lab are good too. Are those also VR gore games? You know, a friend of mine posted about the new Mortal Kombat on Twitter, and I just can't get into the new Mortal Kombat games. They just take too much joy and glee and just like a psychotic level of like ultra detailed gore.
Oh, we need to tie her up.
Do you obey?
Get back here.
Hey, he missed you. You should have kept running, man.
What the hell happened in that garage? Shut up. We have one window of opportunity and we're going to use it.
He's got a gun in London. He could pretty much he could pretty much take over the entire city.
In progress in the basement. Send help. No, of course I'm not Frank. Send help. Okay, everyone.
And he's just wasted his bullets willy-nilly too, man. Just blasted off rounds whatever he can. I hope he has like a bunch strapped to him.
They threatened to drug me. Threatened to drug you. You do surprise me.
No, give me the book. I don't want to. Trust me, please.
When they find us, they're gonna kill us.
It's not that simple.
Yeah, with you it never is.
This one kind of feels a little less competent than the last one. It kind of has a little bit of Tommy Wiseau vibes every now and then.
We've all had a very long night. If you don't come to your senses, I can assure you that yours will become even longer.
Okay, these guys are just kicking out the jams. Me and the Dragon Princess. Okay. The Isle Tide Hotel. What? Oh, this one looks... All of these have positive reviews, though. Like, no one's shitting on any of these games. Well, this one's a little mixed. Very positive, mostly positive, very positive, very positive, mostly positive. Like, and they have at least like 600 reviews on them too. So, you know, I guess people like these dudes' shit. And that one's mixed. Don't Knock Twice. This is a VR one, huh? Since you guys are just talking about your VR experiences. Wales Interactive has a VR experience for you. They just said don't knock twice. As fucking hard as it is for me to play a normal horror game, I can't imagine how absolutely fucking frozen in fear I would be playing a VR horror game. Don't knock twice. Alright, well, you know what? I won't knock twice. In fact, I'll do you one better. I won't even knock once. But, I mean, it has good reviews, mostly positive, out of 506 reviews, so it must be worth something. It must be worth something. It is terrifying. Not in my wheelhouse. Not in my wheelhouse. I don't have my VR set up still. I've really been slouching on that. I have the computer put together and everything. I have to get a ladder to be able to put the sensors where I want to put them, and I don't have a ladder, so I got to do that. But even after I get it set up, there is no shot in hell that I'm playing a game like that. I'd have a heart attack. I would have an actual heart attack. You guys would watch a man die on stream, which I think is against TOS. Alright, let's see what this bolt gun is all about. Adjust until darkest skull is barely visible. That looks good to me. Subtitles on, invert off, master volume. This seems like a pretty good volume. This game contains explosion and flashing lights. May not be suitable. Okay, well, that's not me, but the warning for y'all if you have flashing sensitivity. A challenge worthy of the Imperium's mightiest warriors. Let's go with medium.
Nothing, once touched by the hand of chaos, remains untainted. You are under the dominion of the Ordo Malleus to assist my investigations into a world that has already felt that damned influence. Graia has been under the close watch of the Inquisition since the Grim Skull War. The Forge world remains largely secure, but We have picked up concerning energy readings in the surrounding system. I have my suspicions, although we have not had sufficient time to pinpoint the origin of these foul energies. While most of the planet remains unaffected, it is my belief that rogue elements within the Adeptus Mechanicus may have been experimenting with a surviving fragment of Inquisitor Drogon's power source. Your mission is to assist me in locating a fragment of the power source. While I consider this threat extremely serious, your superiors have seen fit to second only a handful of you to my supervision. In the absence of a larger force, we should pray to the Emperor that this does not develop into a more dire situation. This circle's
I know literally nothing about Warhammer.
in Commodus here is one of the few sanctified and preserved from the purging of Drogon's heretical archives. Together, you will search sites where communication has become sporadic. Should you encounter any opposition, you may assume they have been tainted by the ruinous powers. Suffer not the heretic to live. While I continue my investigations aboard the Crown, you will be deployed to a habitation zone we lost contact with several cycles ago. You should assume the situation to be extremely hostile. Beware. We do not know how far the taint of the arch-enemy spreads.
I know the fandom consists of a lot of Nazis. I know that like Nazis and fascist adjacent people really like they like a particular faction within it. I forget what it's called. It's like something of man. I don't know. And you know, that's always been a big part of keeping me away from anything Warhammer related. But I have heard a lot of really good things about this game, so I don't know what's going on with this weapon. Damage accumulating. Address wounds. Like in what capacity, man? Oh, okay, I see. Alright, that's slightly gory. This guy must be heavy because he is stomping. He is stomping around. So far, this chainsaw thing I have is, it's pretty wicked. Doesn't look like I could pick up anyone's dropped gun. Oh, I see, I see, I see. Oh shit, that thing closes fast. What? Oh, there's a little dash I can do. So what is this for then? Okay, that just got really loud. As a hoarder, I don't like leaving these pickups. I don't like leaving them. Oh shit! Can I drop without hurting myself? Okay, that was kind of cool. Is that all of them? I don't know where they were coming from. Alright, I got something weird. Here we go. Mountain batteries. A trail through the mountains leads to the habitation zone. Planetary defense batteries align the route, as do heretics. Find a way into the hab zone. Purge any resistance. Okay. Oops. Damn it. I'm guessing that was one of the heretics. Oops, I didn't mean to throw a grenade. I don't even know what button I pressed to do that. Oh shit. Alright, do I have a map in this? Nope, that just switches to my chainsaw. So far, this is fun. I like the controls. It is giving me a bit of a, oh shit. It is giving me a bit of a Proteus vibe. Oh shit. I almost ran right. He knew my strategy was going to be to strafe to the side. He shot where he thought I was going to be, not where I was. Unfortunately for him, his projectiles are slow. So I saw him coming. I need a key. Oh, it's right there. It's like the big red floating thing in the middle of the room. Oh shit. Damn it. It's a Chaos Space Marine? Is that what it said his name was? Oh shit, I didn't mean to fall out of there. I'm so used to Starfield slow reloading. This dude reloads in a hurry. My guy in Starfield, like, takes fucking 10 years to reload. Alright, I could definitely use all that ammo I saw before. was that? Secret discovered. If I was a Warhammer fan, I'd probably know what the fuck it was I just got, but I guess I'll be happy just to get the shiny secret thing. Ammunition found. What are you talking about? I know I need ammunition. I know there's a lot in that room up there, but I fell out of that window and I don't know how to get back up there from here. Bummer. Alright, well, hopefully I don't run out in the next melee. Oh, here's some over here. Okay, cool. Oh, shit. Hell of a time to run out of grenades. There's just like blood and gore and guts everywhere. Oh shit, who's shooting me? Oh shit, almost walked into that one. Oh, what is this, like superpowers or something? Too bad I already killed everyone. I don't have anyone to use it on. How did you miss me, dude? I jumped over you. I jumped over you. How did you miss me? He was really lost. I like how big stuff feels in this. CA is gonna make a Total War 40K game, and even though they've been pooping the bed with Total Warhammer 3 lately, I'm very curious about what they'll do with 40K, because there's a lot of factions you'd have to get in there. Who is CA? I don't know what these things are. I don't know why I can't pick them up. Look at this fancy ass thing. I'm discovering secrets, but am I going where I need to go? Oh shit, don't jump off of there, please. CR, the ones who make Total War games. There are a lot of Total War games. Yes, I know there are a lot of those. I thought Sega was at least maybe Sega's the publisher. I remember when the very first Total War game came out, Shogun Total War, and it looked cool, and I wanted to play it, but I didn't have a PC that could play games like that at that time. And then I forgot about the Total War series for like 20 years, and then went and looked it up, and I was like, oh shit, there's like 800 of these games now. Sega owns them? Okay, yeah. That's what I assumed. I remember seeing that much on their website at some point. I can't remember what. I think it was like, was it Rome? It was like a Rome Total War or something like that. I mean, they must be pretty good games if, you know, they're still cranking them out so many years after the fact. Warhammer seems like it might be the perfect franchise for. Oh shit. You motherfuckers are just chilling up here, listening to all your boys getting completely massacred. They must have been hoping, like, okay, hopefully he won't know that he could jump up here and see us. So let's just stay here. They're like, let's just stay up here and hope this guy goes away. This game does a really good job of just portraying just flat out mayhem. This is pretty early on in the game too, so I assume that later on there are real moments of chaos and mayhem. Okay, clearly they don't want me to like jump from there to there. That's not happening. I can't clear that, can I? Oh, I can. This dude has some hops. have yet to save, so let me just go ahead and save before I... Oh, he did. He made it. Well, so this was just for secrets. The problem with Total Warhammer 3 is that the latest DLC is $25 for very little content, and somehow CA didn't anticipate the outcry against it would be this intense, because they put out a statement that was cartoonishly tone-deaf and dismissive, to the point it genuinely said that if people don't support the DLC, they'll just stop updating Total Warhammer 3, which is insane because that's their main moneymaker right now. It seems like tone-deaf press releases from game developers is the soup du jour lately. Oh shit. There we go. Launch your ass over there. Outside of Total Warhammer 3, CA has a bunch of other Total War games they abandoned in less than a year, and Hyena's a game in development that is designed to try to be the next TF2 or Overwatch, but looks like an even more generic and less fun version of both. And the only time people talk about Hyenas now is to go, this is what they're taking money out of Total Warhammer 3 for. That sucks. That kind of has like the same vibe to me, just based off of the generic description you just gave. Kind of has the same vibe as Redfall, that Redfall game, where it was like, okay, we know that you as a studio specialize in making a certain type of game, and this style of game does not fit that bill. But these style of games are also very popular right now, so you're gonna make it. Whether you want to make it or not, you're gonna make this style of game. But at the oh Jesus. At the same time though, I could get it, like if they've been if that team has been working on total war games like non-stop for God knows how many years, I'm sure they have an appetite to work on a game that's not Total War. So I could see that going both ways too, but shot him in the back while he was trying to run away. What the hell? Oh, god damn. Those little plague frog things fuck me up. Oh shit. I could have sworn there was like a trail of health that I couldn't pick up because I was already at max health. Back around here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Is Henry Cavill making a Warhammer TV show, or is it Warhammer 40K? I think it's Warhammer 40K. I guess Warhammer 40K is more popular than just normal ass Warhammer. I think I've only ever heard anything about, like, I don't know anything about Warhammer in general, but I think I know more about 40K than, like, normal Warhammer. Oh shit. This guy is like a sniper rifle with this non-sniper rifle gun. Can I get those guys all the way over there too? Oh, I think I got him. Damn, I can even barely make him out. There's a guy right there too. Can I get him? Oh, I saw a mist of blood. I think I got him. Damn, this dude is a fucking menace. Yeah, Henry's making a 40K show. GW destroyed regular Warhammer a few years ago with the end times. It's considered one of the worst things they ever did. Wait, so what? They destroyed it so they could focus solely on 40K or something, since that's their more popular one? They literally had the bonds that held reality and Warhammer be severed and just destroyed all of reality itself just to go, fuck you, no more fantasy, but 40K and Age of Sigmar stuff now. It was so unpopular and Age of Sigmar was so hated that GW made Old World, which is a prequel to fantasy, just to get fans to stop complaining. I wonder why they made that decision. That's really weird. Like, I can understand wanting to focus on 40K because it's the more popular one, but why does that require destroying the original, the world of the original? I guess maybe it's kind of like Lucas making the extended universe Star Wars stuff non-canon after the sequel trilogy. Alternative entrance. Me? They wanted Age of Sigmar to be their new version of fantasy, but with a fantasy version of the Space Marines to sell models. No, sell new models. I'm not really interested in Old World though. It's 200 years before the end times, but all that tells me is, oh, by the way, all of this is destroyed in the one of the worst stories of the franchise later. So don't bother getting invested in any of this. Yeah, that's kind of dumb. It would have been probably more palatable if they just said this isn't canon anymore. Like, the world will still exist, and whoever wants to build on it can still build on it. And, you know, maybe even we will still build on it, but it's not official canon. Canon is 40K. I'll play a little bit more of this. I like this game. Like, honestly, it's not so far, and maybe I'm just still too early on, but so far it's not as frantic as I thought it would be. It's a little bit more deliberately paced. Kind of like, oh, can I get this guy? Oh, I can get all of them, can't I? I would have just replaced Old World with an alternative version where the end times didn't happen in the first place. If people choose to play that version instead of Age of Sigmar, then that should tell you that Age of Sigmar was the wrong call. Why are they so devoted to it, though? Like, is Age of Sigmar not popular at all? Oh shit, what the fuck is that? Pink horror. The hell was that thing? It was like a horned rabbit. Oh, it spit something out. Oh, that was a blue horror. Sons of bitches snuck up on me. +2 contempt. I don't know what that means, but I find that very funny. Oh shit, that's my little floating head guy. I've got a whole lot of contempt. Age of Sigmar is making money, but people are still mad about fantasy being destroyed the way it was. Yeah, it's just weird that they thought that they needed to destroy fantasy at all. Oh shit. I mean, the other gun wasn't weak. I don't know if I'll find the utility of this one, because the bolt gun wasn't weak. It was actually maybe a little OP, because it was powerful and it had a fast firing rate. I feel like the slowed down firing rate of this one might fuck me up a bit. Oh shit, wrong one. Oh shit. I've got a panicky trigger finger. Oh shit, what is this thing? Alright, this seems strong. I don't know what the hell is happening when I pull the trigger, but it's making my enemies dead real fast, so I can be for that. Although it looks like it takes a particular type of ammo that I may not have, so... Wait, what? Oh, this is the Kraken bolt gun. Wait, why can't I switch? Oh, okay, I have to... Oh, boy. GW also put out a ban of all fan animation based on Warhammer with a zero tolerance policy because they made a streaming service that... They have a oh god, I fucking hate this world so much. Everything about... Wait, am I supposed to drop down there? Like, just everything about fucking... Anyone that might happen to own a little sliver of IP wants to build their own streaming service for that fucking thing. And just extract $5, $10, $12 a month from literally everybody. For no good goddamn reason. I'm gonna see if I have to drop down there. Let me save. There can't possibly be a good reason for there to be a Warhammer streaming service. No fantasy, only 40K. They expect you to pay $7 a month for their streaming service that barely updates and features some of the sloppiest animation from a multi-million-dollar company I've ever seen. The most popular show they had was a fan-animated series that was already on YouTube anyways. They sound like a shitty company. Well, I just saved it, so if I die, I die. Alright, that looks like... they very gently told me no. No, this is not the way, sir. They very gently placed me back on the bridge. Okay, fair enough, game. I made a poor decision. Oh, I need a key for that. Oh, why is the frame rate chugging for me all of a sudden? I have a feeling that I can't reload, so I have a feeling that once I run out here, my magical Kraken gun is going to disappear and it's going to turn back into a normal bolt gun. Oh shit. Why? Oh shit. Why can't my starfield guy reload like that? Oh, I'm running out of shotgun shells. Oh, here's something cool. Give me some more contempt. I'm not contemptuous enough. There you are. Fucking pink whores. Oh, buddy, you should have not been sleeping on the job like that. I kind of feel sorry for some of these dudes that I'm just like blowing away. Oh man, I took a beating that time. Oh, I'm about to die. Haul ass, haul ass. thought there was a health pack somewhere over here. Alright, well, I came back around this... Oh, here it is. That was close. And I have the blue key, so I should be able to come in this door anyways. Alright, that guy almost killed me. It's a good thing I got that health when I did. Shit. Plus 100 contempt. What does contempt do in this game? I don't get it. What is contempt? Why am I collecting it? GW is a shitty company. One of these days I'm actually going to look into all this Warhammer stuff. I mean, it's popular for a reason, so maybe there's something worthwhile. This is actually, I think this is actually the first Warhammer related game I've ever played. So this is my entryway into like the Warhammer universe. And so far, it just seems like, I mean, this is a very specific entry point into it, but so far it just feels like the Doom world. It's the Doom universe to me. But, you know, I mean, I like this cool, weird Gothic architecture. I don't know what's going on with that sun, but, like, this is kind of cool. I'm running real low on this ammo. I'm running real low on this ammo. I mean, in actual lore, a single Space Marine wouldn't really be able to do this, but yeah, it could be brutal like Doom. Fantasy was a comedic parody of Lord of the Rings until they decided to make it as edgy as possible. I remember seeing really early Warhammer stuff that made it look like it was like a comical. It kind of came across to me as a comical heavy metal. Like, it just seemed kind of like it had heavy metal kind of vibes to it, but like fantasy, like pure fantasy. Picked up an all ammo crate. I guess I'm supposed to drop down that way. Purge this site. What the fuck does that mean? My buddy Gonsgrim can tell you about the shitty things they did if you ever catch one of his streams. That's the thing. I need to start watching more people's streams, but like, I don't watch a lot of Twitch. Like I'll put it on my I'll put it on my I'll put it on in the background while I'm working throughout the day, but only like if it's not gaming, because it sucks to hear somebody game. Like if it's like a just chatting or news or something like that, I'll put it on in the background. But otherwise, I'm either streaming myself or I'm not at my house. Oh shit, what the fuck? But like, oh god damn. Get out of here, get out of here. Purge this site my ass. What the fuck are you asking of me? Oh shit, this guy is like fucking beefed up. I'm almost dead again. Purge finished? Are you sure? I still see these little blue assholes running around. Oh boy. Plasma gun ammo full. Do I even have a plasma gun? Oh, is that what that is right there? Guess I could have started with this, huh? I didn't see that in the middle of the room, though. Wait, plasma ammo full? I can only carry... Oh, wait, there we go. No, wait, it's still telling me... Oh, man, I can't carry a lot of this stuff, huh? I guess I'm gonna have to be very particular about using that weapon. Oh. Oh, man. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it for the night. I like this game, though. It's good stuff. You know what? Where is my, I'm gonna throw that on. I haven't listened to this playlist in a while for my exit playlist. Good stream, good job. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by as always. To everybody, I appreciate y'all support whenever you have it. Let's see. Is this the dude I followed earlier? I think this is the guy I followed earlier. Real 1J. I think he's doing a subathon. So, I'm gonna hit him with the raid. He seems like a pretty chill dude. He's doing a subathon right now. Yeah, I'll raid him, so stick around for that. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with me tonight. I always appreciate it. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I will probably stream tomorrow. Yeah. And I'll probably fall right back into my Starfield addiction, so join me tomorrow for that. Until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you tomorrow.
Raiders, welcome in, Raiders. How you guys doing? My name is 1J. If you don't know who I am, I have a variety